The only thing better than watching football is talking about it. So we invented Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Now launching. The dumbest radio show in America. Welcome to Common Man and T-Bone.
Yeah, so
got real people out there. What are we drawing pictures for?
That's what yes.
Sound like dumb.
I know.
Hey, what are you doing? Drawing pictures? Got real people out there trying to put food on the table. Get them an acting job.
South Park, why are these kids with the foul mouths and they're cussing?
My God.
Going to Casa Bonita.
You know, back in my day, they used to draw the pictures. Now they got the computers drawing the pictures. What are we doing here? Taking jobs away from hardworking Americans.
Featuring Panama Ted.
Too hot.
Timmy Hall.
I will rub one on my face.
And a collection of profane noises.
Coach? No, Dom.
I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal.
I want me some glory hole. I'll keep it in the room. Stop breathing. It used to be a lot longer.
The numbers don't lie.
This is Stupid. This is Man and Bone.
Happy Monday. It is Reaction Monday. It's also Yikes Monday. Hello, Bone.
Hello, man.
Oh, we got a big program today. The segment that's not a segment, Yikes! At 4:34, Jason's Beef. At 5:34, Bone will be a nervous wreck throughout the show today as you sit here with your Mets jersey on and you got the Braves and Mets playing a double dip.
Yep. This is not looking good for the Mets right now. They're down 3-0 in the seventh, as you heard Paul Keel say in SportsCenter Update. The stakes today are this. Braves, Mets, Diamondbacks, all there for the wild card in the National League. Only two of them can go. If the Braves and Mets split today, they will all three be tied. Braves and Mets would move on because they have the tiebreakers with the Diamondbacks. So, what I'm proposing as a Mets fan is that the Braves win this game and then just say, oh, look, we're going to let a Little League team play in the second game. And then the Mets can win and we can just all move on and the Diamondbacks can go to hell. That's what I suggest. It won't happen. Just know this, how you feel as a Browns fan about the Steelers, that's how I feel as a Mets fan about the Braves. It's not a rivalry.
But you also feel that way
yes,
about
I do.
the Steelers.
But I'm saying if you're not a Mets fan and you're wondering, what does this mean to you? It's not just a playoff spot on the line. It's that it's the Braves. It's always the Braves
and
with the Mets.
You want to keep them out.
I'd love that. But right now, I just want to get my team in. And that's not... Currently, they're sitting on the outside looking in as this result sits.
What possesses... They just had the camera on a guy, I assume a grown-ass man, sitting in the stands, dressed in full Grimace costume.
Well,
I mean, what... Look, I know that's like the mascot of the Mets.
Thing with the...
I get it, but this is a grown-ass man. Look, face painting, costumes, it's not my deal, but at the end of the day, it's still you.
Yes.
Right? And your face is still visible. You could still see. It doesn't look like there's eye holes in this Grimace costume. This guy's just sitting in the stands wearing a full costume.
Hey, man, he's, look, the Mets, ever since they had Grimace throughout the first pitch, I want to say they had the best record in baseball. So he's trying to bring a little Grimace magic to the Mets.
Okay.
I don't know if it's working right now because, like I said, they're not winning. But one more game after this one. We'll see what happens.
All right, a lot of football today. Here's how it works on a Monday. Lots of Buckeyes college football in the 3 o'clock hour. 4 o'clock hour, Brownies, Bengals, NFL goodness. 5 o'clock hour, a little mix of everything. A flavorful broth, a bouillabaisse. Buckeyes beat Sparty 38-7. Bone, give me your thoughts on the
overall, I felt like the number one takeaway I have from this game after watching it was that Ohio State just has some of the purely best players that you will ever see in college football. Jeremiah Smith might be one of those guys that...
No, he is. He
might be one of those guys that we talk about for 50 years, like that his legacy at Ohio State, it's very early on, but we are seeing the signs of this may be an all-time great player in college football. And that leads to bigger discussions that we can have down the road about what do you do with a guy who's a freshman who already looks like he could be a starter in the NFL, and yet he's got to sit in college for 2.5 more years. That's another discussion for another time. But thankfully, right now, he's playing for the Buckeyes. And he's one of those guys that if it's going your way or not, you can always hope that he's going to have some kind of play that overcomes whatever else is there. And Ohio State has those type of players. Do they have enough of them to beat the best teams in college football? That's the question we're going to raise all year long until it happens. But, yeah, I saw some worrisome signs from the defense. I got a little bit shaken by the fact that they were letting Michigan State kind of move the ball. But ultimately, bend but don't break. They ended up getting some stops there when they needed to, and Buckeyes pulled away late in that game. Didn't totally surprise me that they were the better team. So nothing fully surprised me there other than just, again, how great Jeremiah Smith is and some of the guys you have on this team.
I'm going to echo what I said last week. I think this is the most talented group of guys in college football. I mean, look at this team. You got, in my opinion, the two best running backs in college football. You've got freak of nature freshman guy, Jeremiah Smith, just going out there and one-handing balls out of the air. I mean, I don't know in this world of NIL what it would even take to keep him around here. You have to give him $20 million in the offseason?
This is what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said those are discussions for me for like another day.
No, I know that.
We can get into it, but like, I'm just saying.
He's that talented. I'm not even saying he doesn't deserve it.
No, he does.
You know, you almost have to bend over backwards to give that guy whatever the hell he wants, because what we're seeing now, I assume, is the tip of the iceberg.
I mean, that's on the. I know that Michigan State is not the best they've ever been. This is on the road in your first road game as a collegiate player. First time in the Big Ten on the road for a collegiate athlete, right? Those are two kind of things that people usually say, well, all right, let's see what that freshman can do when he gets to. Yeah, I mean, eventually he's going to play in tougher environments than that. He's going to play in places where there's tougher competition. You're going to play in games where you're actually playing like a top 5 or top 10 team.
Well, I understand
but every time you put one of those things like, well, but let's see how he does in a real game, all this hype. Well, he's passed every test with flying colors so far. What
do you do next? You catch it with your feet? I'm just saying, good catches are good catches.
Yes, he's making plays that OBJ in his prime would say, all right, dude, that's enough. That's crazy.
And look, I know the technology of the gloves has gotten better, and I get it. I understand all that. The reality is he's doing things today that his peers are not doing.
Yeah,
that's all we can judge him against.
Of course. He's doing it in traffic with a guy grabbing his face mask, two guys on him.
I know.
He reaches up with one hand, pulls it down on the sideline, and then you think, I've never seen a play. I may never have seen a catch that good in my life on an Ohio State player, or it's up there in the top 3 or 4 I've ever seen. And then on the same drive, he hauls in one that's just about as good, except that one goes for a touchdown. So it leaves you speechless as you're watching it. I'm literally telling my dad we're watching the game, and I'm like, this is that guy. This is that 18-year-old, the freshman everybody's talking about. He's like, oh, yeah. And then he makes that catch and then another one, and we're just floored.
No,
absolutely floored.
The talent on this team, and we knew in the offseason, and it's been confirmed, it's just off the charts. We may never see a team as talented as this team. Does that mean they're the best team? That is yet to be determined. I know the running backs are great. I know the receiving talent is great. We're living in a world where Emeka Egbuka is the afterthought.
Yeah, but what an afterthought.
And what an afterthought he is. Yeah, right? I'm just saying, really that's how deep this team is at the skill position. Will Howard, I don't know if Will Howard is consistently good. Right? I don't know that. I'd like to think that he is. And if you think you know that, you're lying to yourself. Because there's a little Will Levis in Will Howard. Where you put pressure in his face and he just throws the ball up 500 style, and he's got to nip that in the bud, because we can't have that.
No, I think if you're looking at quarterback play, is it something that I say I'm fully confident that he can go out there with the best of the best and make these throws? No, I'm not right now. I think he's a very good college quarterback. He's a veteran. He's got a steady hand in that regard, but he makes mistakes that I'd like him not to make. He does things that I feel like a guy who's played college football as long as he has probably shouldn't be making some of these mistakes. There's no, in my mind, he's not in the discussion for like Heisman Trophy. That's not the quarterback you have. And maybe that was the hope that some people had here after last season, where you also didn't have.
You don't need to be, though.
No, I know that.
To your point.
You need to be good enough to not make mistakes.
That's exactly
and
right.
Give yourself enough opportunities for your skill players to go out there and make those plays that separate you from everybody else.
You're going to have moments, even on the best teams, and there have been question marks about this offensive line, but you're going to have moments where guys get through. Somebody doesn't pick up the blitz the way they're supposed to, and there's pressure in your face. Even the best teams have to deal with that. You can't panic when that happens. Will Howard doesn't have to be the most accurate quarterback in the world. I'll deal with some misses, but I don't want to deal with the mistakes. And you saw a big mistake in that first half. Buckeyes took advantage of mistakes in that first half, too. They won the turnover battle 3-1.
Yeah.
But to your point on that defense, you really couldn't stop them. They stopped themselves.
Well, sure enough.
In the first half with fumbles. And again, there are guys there stripping the ball away. That's the one thing that I'm excited about this Buckeye defense is that they seem to be very opportunistic. They're there to strip the ball out. When that interception is there for the taking, they're going to take it. And we haven't seen that in the past few years. This team looks different. But when it comes to stopping people, they didn't stop a whole lot of people in that first half.
No. And that is where I think the difference comes when you play the best teams in the country or your toughest opponents in the Big Ten or that team up north that has such a physical, advantage, it seems like a lot of times on the offense and defensive lines. You're going to have, I think Ohio State's going to have better skill position players against everyone they play that's not named probably Georgia, Bama, Texas. They're going to be equal to those teams, but they're not going to necessarily be better. It's then about what do you do with that consistency across the board for you guys who are not your number one stud talent, the guys who have to win their individual battles time and time again. Is that toughness there to be able to do that enough to keep your team on the field or to get your team off the field, right? If you're the defense trying to get off the field, you got to be able to win those defensive battles at the line of scrimmage. Offensively, you got to move sometimes a guy on a 4th and 1, and you can't just rely on, oh, we're better. We'll just throw it 80 yards down the field and a guy will just catch it one-handed and run it for a touchdown. You're going to have some plays like that, but you can't have enough of those plays happen where you're getting pushed off the line of scrimmage. And in those bigger games, that's what I'm still concerned about is do we have enough of that baseline to keep the high-profile guys have enough time to do their thing?
We have a kick time for the Oregon game, and new polls are out. I'll share them with you coming up next. Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You can expect some delay due to an accident that's on the left shoulder of westbound 70 on the east side after 33. And we have a couple minutes slowdown due to an accident that's on the right shoulder of eastbound 70 downtown after Livingston Avenue. Police are on scene causing some slower traffic from the 71 west split. This report is sponsored by Judy Justice. A new era begins, and she's just getting started. Judy Justice. Check your local listing to watch Judy Justice out now. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is brought to you by Monogram Homes. Start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit Monogram Homes online at monogramhomes.net.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. It seems like everything we hear these days is about political races, and yet there's a far more important race that you run for yourself every day. It's the race to be the best that you can be. But if your libido is low, if your workouts aren't productive, if you've got brain fog and you're tired all the time, you may feel like you're losing that race, and maybe even that your best days are behind you. But the truth is that they're likely not, because if you're feeling like this, it's probable you're simply suffering from low testosterone, a condition that affects a huge percentage of men as we age. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating low T. We've successfully treated thousands of men for the condition, and if you're like most guys, you'll start seeing results in just a few weeks. Better sleep patterns, higher energy, improved mental clarity, more productive workouts, and your libido will likely increase as well. So get back to winning your race by calling us. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Pella has forever been known for the best of windows, Wilson, but our doors just as game-changing.
Yeah, same with us.
We've got traditional and modern options, but also some really innovative stuff like big, bold colors or tuck-away sliding doors.
But do you have the give it a little kick to open it door?
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah, you got to give it a good little kick to open it.
Get the windows and doors that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted. PellaColumbus.com.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, how you doing, Tom? I go, hey, I'm not your stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not.
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to Schottenstein Center Friday, October 4th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Tom Segura, Come Together.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
Scott from the Cleveland area has coached girls basketball and supported his granddaughter's athletic pursuits.
My granddaughters have worked hard to excel in sports. It's tough enough. So the idea that Sherrod Brown voted to allow transgender biological men to compete in girls' sports, it's unfair and dangerous. And introducing a bill to allow biological men in girls' locker rooms? Biological men to shower in my granddaughter's locker room? No way. I worry about the safety of my family constantly. Now I have to worry about Sherrod Brown's crazy liberal ideas. I thought Sherrod Brown was on my side, but he's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown has let Ohio down. Now he's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Time now to get a look at that weather report. Today, cloudy along with a few showers, high 77. A little bit drier tomorrow, but we still maintain a 20% chance of rain. 79 on your Tuesday. And then the sunshine is back as high pressure strengthens. Look for a high of 73 on Wednesday under sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
No Desmond Howard death wishes since 2012. This is Man and Bone.
Happy Monday. Your Mets are doing it, buddy.
Oh, hang on now. Don't say that. I'm not doing anything. Now they got... Tied it up.
When I say they're doing it, they were down 3-0 in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
They're playing a double dip.
Yep.
That determines their postseason lives against their hated rivals, the Atlanta Braves. They were down 3-0. Now they just tied it up at 3.
They tied it up.
No
That's right.
outs. Still top of the 8th. Runners on the corners. You're a very happy man.
I'm very happy, man. This is what I want to see. I'm just saying, I don't want to... Nothing's over till it's over.
I got it, Yogi.
With this Braves team, they always kill the Mets. I don't want to hear it. I know they've been down this year. They've had a billion injuries.
No, look at them. They got all the hype on their side.
Now.
Did you read his lips right there?
I didn't read him.
He's yelling at the crowd, go home to your flooded basements? That's what he's yelling at all the Atlanta people.
I don't think he should have said that.
As he said it.
I don't think he said that. I will say what I love is when you catch the Braves dugout and they're all just looking at each other. All the manager, the pitching coaches they're just pointing at each other and yelling at each other now. They're arguing because they took out the starter, Schwellenbach, whatever his name is. Let him live. He was great. But ever since they took him out,
he's dead now.
Wheels falling off. The bullpen is trash.
You know,
for
I
Atlanta.
want to talk to you about my friends at Coors Light.
Okay.
So I had a buddy over to watch the game on Saturday night, and he said, "You got any beer?" And I said, "Yeah, I got. Go in that fridge over there. I got a fridge in my pantry. Must be nice."
Wow.
But it's like tricked out, like I'm in a Coors commercial.
Okay.
Because they give me all this free product. So you open up the fridge, and it's just jam-packed.
Jammed with Coors Light.
Just jam-packed with Coors Light. And the way the lighting sort of hits it in the refrigerator, you can almost hear, you can hear it. You're not even paying attention to a word I'm saying right now.
You're doing a read.
We're
going to town.
But out of the corner of my eye, I just see Bone making the wank-off motion.
I'm not making I'm cheering, baby. Go ahead. Talk about the Blue Mountains or whatever. Blue Mountains, my guys. Do what you got to do.
Mets blue balls right over there.
Well, no, they're not blue anymore.
Maybe you're like Bone, and your baseball team's about to make it to the World Series. Or maybe you were like me and my buddy, and you enjoyed some good college football on a Saturday night. The beverage of choice for me and for fine, warm-blooded Americans everywhere is an ice-cold Coors Light. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Oh, let me tell you right now, the wheels are falling off of this train for the Braves. Gave up the sac fly, so now there's one out. It's 4-3 Mets. Let's go. All this in the 8th inning. And then just stole second, just out of nowhere. Just said, let's do that. Braves catcher fumbling the ball back there. My guy, formerly Travis d'Arnaud, former Met. Just losing it right here for his own team. Bad.
Timmy's over there. How you doing, Timmy? How you doing, Timmy?
Take your time.
Hey, guys.
Take your time. Put your headphones
Making sure you're doing a good job today.
If you
I was stuck watching that Mets game, too. Sorry, what'd you say?
Stuck watching
I
the
said
game.
hi. How you doing, Timmy?
Hi. How you doing?
Timmy, today, Timmy is like, it's like when mom and dad leave and they leave the oldest kid in charge. Timmy is in charge of the radio station today.
That's right.
Because Fish is gone. Our program director. He is off on leadership training?
Yeah.
Oh, get out of town!
Oh, look at this.
Oh, let's go! Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Hey, Jen Winters, how you feeling, Jen?
Maybe instead of just screaming, we should tell people what
Craig
happened.
Calcaterra, how's it looking down there? Not in the playoffs is how it looks. Yeah.
Brandon Nimmo, your guy.
That's right.
Was that a 3-run jack?
Nimmo.
2-run jack, 6-3.
Mets up 6-3.
Let's go, Mets go.
On the Braves.
Hell
That's
yeah.
6 in the 8th. 6 in the 8th for the Mets.
Yeah.
Winning your in, Bone.
Yeah, there you go. Keep doing your racist chop, you idiots. That's what you get. We're just over here naming ourselves after Metropolitan. There's nothing. You can't be mad about that. Over here culturally appropriating things, Atlanta. Go to hell.
New polls are out. Alabama stays at 1. Actually, they don't stay at 1. They jumped up 3 spots, number 1, because they had a big win against Georgia.
How about that game?
Yeah, that was quite a game.
That was an unbelievable back and forth, especially if you were gambling on it. It made it even worse. Not that I have any knowledge of that.
Those Bama fans were excited. At the end, I'm just saying.
Well, you had 28-0 lead. You blow it. You think Georgia's going to come back, wreck your dreams at home, and then you get that play where
they barbecued
Keystone Cop
Herbie's
tackling
dog at the end of the game. They were just so excited. They put Ben on a spit. My dog.
His dog was on the set of Game Day, too. He was just popping up there.
Of course he was. Anyway, Alabama's number 1. They get 41st place votes. They're up 3 spots. Texas moves down a spot to 2. They get 19 first place votes. Buckeyes stay at 3. They have 4 first place votes. And it's Tennessee up a spot to 4. Georgia's down 3 spots to 5. Oregon's up 2 spots to 6. Penn State up 2 spots to 7. Miami down a spot at 8. Missouri up 2 spots at 9. And Meat Chicken back in the top 10. Well, they're up 2 spots to go to number 10. Other Big Ten teams, USC just out of the top 10 at 11. What else do we have? Illinois down 5 spots after their loss at Penn State to 24. Indiana's 23. Sorry, I forgot about them.
Oh, yeah, don't forget about Indiana.
Let them live. And that's it for the Big Ten.
Hey, you know what? Penn State didn't cover. We said that that 19.5 was a little large for. So I'm not saying
what was the final there, 21-7.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Illinois should really hang their hat on that, but they're not terrible under Burt. I'm not saying it's going to be national championship anytime soon.
I'm glad we don't have to deal with them this year.
They're improving.
I don't like them.
They are very improved.
I don't want to play them.
No, I don't either.
Plus, in Champaign, very windy. Well, you can't do anything. Can be dead calm.
They're also bringing Juice Williams back to play quarterback.
Buckeyes
He's got a year of eligibility.
It is windy.
It is, always.
Kick time for Oregon has been announced for the Buckeyes. It is 7:30, and it will be on the NBC.
All right.
I believe that's Iron Eagle's kid.
As long as it isn't Colt McCoy.
Noah Eagle.
Jesus.
Noah Eagle, that's right.
Colt McCoy, yeah.
Let me tell you something right now. Colt McCoy was the worst color analyst I've ever heard. I mean, I've heard better on public access for high school.
Mm-hmm.
Just awful. He may be the nicest guy in the world, but Jerry Seinfeld had this bit about the prerequisite, what you needed to have to be a cab driver in New York City. And he said, I think all you need is a face. And I think when you're doing color work for NBC, all you need is a face. Hi, do you have a face that works? Did you play in the NFL?
Well,
Are
that's
you a
it.
goober white quarterback? Come on down. We got a booth for you.
Yeah.
Certainly not the voice, right? We know that.
You know what? Voice aside, the voice was weird and, childlike and all that. Made Tom Brady sound like James Earl Jones. He just gave you nothing.
No.
He's like, oh, yeah, hit, ball, no, yes.
No, honestly, if I were Fox, I would be calling up his agent right now and saying, hey, what do you say? We put you on whatever the biggest 1 o'clock game is on Fox every week. So we'll have him on there. And then when Tom Brady comes on at 4 o'clock, everyone will be like, my God, thank goodness it's Tom Brady time.
Here.
That Colt McCoy is awful, but at least Tom Brady's here. It's like protection in the lineup for your like not great hitter. But hey, at least there's somebody in front of him now so that takes some of the flack off. Man, he is terrible.
Oh my God.
I swear there were multiple references of Quinshon Judkins being a Jenkins.
Oh,
it's Judkins. It's really
Judkins.
You say it exactly how it's written out on that jersey. J-U-D Judd K-I-N-S Kins.
It's almost like he didn't know what he was talking about.
No pronunciation guide necessary.
What, it was like he knew the name. It was like he was just kind of saying, oh.
Well, and they
what's his face over
there. They introduced the defense as if Tyleek Williams were in there. And guess what? Didn't play.
Didn't play at all.
Not in there. Tywan Malone was the one in there.
That's a hell of a broadcast there on the Peacock, isn't it?
Hey, man, you
Nothing but the best.
That's why when you pay that extra money to watch the game, where it's not on free television, that's when you really expect the quality to come out. Just like if you pay a little extra to get some special service or something, maybe you go rent a car and you expect, I'm going to pay for the extra nice car. You don't expect to get the crappiest one on the lot with the wheels falling off, but that's apparently what you get with Peacock when you pay a little extra.
I'll say this for Amazon. Like, I'm not the biggest Herbie fan in the world, as you know.
Clearly.
But when they got their NFL package, it was, we got to get the best play-by-play guy that we can.
They got Al Michaels and
Herb Street. And Herb
the best
Street,
ever.
Right? Even they put money in the studio shows and everything like that. Peacock, it's, hey, who we got for basketball? Hey, Chris Collinsworth's kid is doing nothing. Oh, okay, let's have him do it.
Yeah, he was terrible. He's awful. Colt McCoy is awful. Do they just not know how to identify talent? Or do they just look for guys who are like, I recognize that name, and that's it? They don't even listen to what they do. They don't even check to see if they know how to talk about football.
They've rectified this problem, but they had Jack Collinsworth doing Notre Dame play-by-play.
Yeah. And
he was the voice of Notre Dame.
And that was almost a revolt from the Notre Dame fans. But yeah, that was terrible.
All right, big stuff around college football this past weekend. We'll talk about it next. Cowan, Man, and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You can expect traffic to be stop and go and causing a 5-minute delay on eastbound 70 downtown between the 71 east and west split. And watch out for an accident that's causing some holdup if you're on Sawmill Road, north of Summit View Road. And we also have a delay on eastbound 670 from Neal Avenue to 71. This report is sponsored by Judy Justice. A new era begins, and she's just getting started. Judy Justice. Check out your local listing to watch Judy Justice out now. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors, voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
At Kroger Pharmacy, CARE is making it easy to get vaccinated. CARE is helping you stay protected from flu, COVID, and RSV. Seasonal vaccines are available 7 days a week with evening hours. CARE is giving you a shot at staying healthy this season. Walk in whenever is best and get multiple vaccines in one visit at your local Kroger pharmacy. So come and get the protection you need while protecting those around you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Visit Kroger.com/vaccines for more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See site for details.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Bishop and Friends.
Chops was doing push-ups in here, took his shirt off and was flexing. He was showing me the boys, and I'm like, the boys?
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, announcing our $99 home preventative maintenance checkup. Carpenter and Bryant will do whatever it takes to get you ready for the fall and winter ahead. Check us out at carpentercolumbus.com. That's carpentercolumbus.com.
After 31 years in Washington, just how much has Sherrod Brown changed? When he first wanted our vote, he said this.
My allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
To Ohio? Sherrod Brown voted for amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. And he voted to give them taxpayer-funded benefits, like free health care to illegals who get amnesty, Social Security checks, COVID relief checks, all to be paid for by you. And Sherrod Brown's open border policies have led to more fentanyl, dangerous gangs, even terrorists pouring into our country. So when Sherrod Brown says this,
my allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
Don't listen to what Sherrod Brown says. Watch what he does. Because Sherrod Brown doesn't vote for Ohio anymore. He's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Attention, small business or sole proprietors. Do you want to save money on health care for your business? Be able to cover your employees with the best dental, doctors, and hospitals? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for the SACA Benefit Plan. Nearly 100,000 members strong in the state of Ohio. The SACA Benefit Plan is administered by Anthem and could be right for you. Small businesses, visit 844-medohio.com. That's medohio.com. The SACA Benefit Plan could be right for you. Visit 844-medohio.com.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The only thing harder than Common Man's arteries is T-Bone thinking about a red-bellied woodpecker. This is Man and Bone.
Please subscribe to the podcast of this dumb show. It's available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Common Man and T-Bone. Click. Subscribe. Every single show comes right to your device free of charge. The podcast is brought to you by our friends, Care Heating and Cooling. One more thing on Colt McCoy, because he was just god-awful on the color call for Buckeyes and Michigan State on Peacock on Saturday night. I had some people say, well, you probably weren't very good your first couple shows either. First of all, What the hell are we talking about? We're talking about Ohio State and Michigan State on a Saturday night on TV, okay?
Well,
Peacock,
right.
whatever we're calling that.
You're right. It's network stuff. This is not local high school broadcaster stuff we're talking about.
Let me speak slowly for some of you people. Here's the deal. The only thing proprietary on this show that you're listening to right now is me and Bone.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if you don't like either one of us or the show that we're doing, you turn us off, turn something else on, and you go about your day. But when you are broadcasting exclusive content, last time I checked, there wasn't another channel I could tune to and watch the Buckeyes on TV. I think you owe it to your broadcast partners, and the Big Ten is your broadcast partner, to not put a public service broadcast on with guys that have no experience whatsoever calling big boy football games. We have no place else to go unless you want to listen to it on the radio.
Which, again, I think is a wise decision. You can obviously do that, and I think that's a good idea, is to listen to our broadcast. When those broadcasts are bad, you should listen to it anyway, because it's great. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of people I know who don't want to take the time to sort that whole thing out and put the TV over here and put the audio on over there or whatever. That's fine. This is the reality of big boy broadcasting, is that when you have millions of people tuning in to watch or listen to you, they are by necessity going to be critical of it if it doesn't live up to a standard they've expected. Now, there are times where, you and I have said, I don't like how this guy does the job, or he's not my favorite broadcaster. Gus Johnson's someone that gets routinely roasted by people because they don't like his call because it's not their style. The idea that Gus Johnson's not good at calling football games, that's different than he's not my cup of tea. That is a different level that we're talking about with this Colt McCoy thing, where it is just distracting how bad it was. It wasn't like it was, well, he's just got a different way of doing it or whatever.
No, he's got a horrible, bad, amateurish way of doing it. And this is a Peacock problem, because how bad were those college basketball games we're forced to watch on Peacock? Those broadcasts were awful. Awful.
It genuinely feels like, and I've gotten this sense sometimes with NBC when it comes to sports, the way they broadcast things, it shocks me, because NBC used to be, when you and I were younger, we would watch the NBA on NBC. We talk about it all the time. How that was the music from that, the production level for that, Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, at least for a little while, and then it became Matt Guokas at some point. Matt Guokas, does anybody remember his playing career? No, but he was a decent broadcaster. He was good at breaking down the games. Mike Fratello was not one of the best basketball players to ever live, or even one of the best basketball coaches necessarily to ever live. He was just a guy who was really good at breaking it down when it came time for him to tell you what's going on in the broadcast. That's what NBC used to represent when I watched their sporting events. That's the level that they would get, is two of the best broadcasters they could find. Now it feels like what they do is say, well, we got it on Peacock. We know they have to watch it, because if they're Ohio State or Michigan State fans, where are you going to go? This is where the game
Doesn't matter what we throw out there.
So then we can make all this money by charging people to watch it, and there's nothing they can do. It doesn't matter if we put, you can put two random guys off the street basically on there, and people are still going to tune in, and we're going to get a number because they want to see the game. And so we'll just hire some guy with a name who doesn't sound very good, throw another guy with him. It seems like they had no chemistry. And then that's the broadcast you get. There was no thought or excellence put into it. No idea of, well, since everybody's paying to watch this, since it's this product we're trying to launch, we should probably make it the best experience possible. It was a degraded product for sure.
You know what? The other side of that is Andrew Siciliano. He was on play-by-play. Andrew Siciliano, look, we watch Paul Keels work on a daily basis. Paul Keels starts working 2 weeks in advance sometimes, watching film of the opposing team, trying to figure out what they're going to do, who's going to play in certain situations. This is a craft, okay?
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that Andrew Siciliano doesn't take his craft seriously, but you can't take it as seriously when you're broadcasting one game on a Saturday night and then you're turning around and broadcasting another game at 1 o'clock the next day.
Sure.
You can't.
I don't understand the idea of putting him on a broadcast that ends at near midnight when he's going to have to be on the air in 13 hours doing an NFL game.
Yes.
Doing a radio broadcast,
Doesn't matter.
obviously.
He's still calling the game.
Yeah, he's got to do all the work.
Radio
and stuff.
broadcast is even more demanding because you're painting that picture because people can't see it.
Yes, but I think sometimes maybe the NBC people are like, well, no one's really going to notice this because, well, he's on this, but he's not on TV, so they won't see that we're kind of having a guy do 2 games in less than, like, 14 hours, whatever it is. Like, that's not well planned. That is just you're ignoring basically what's happened there. And I'm sure he had his contract worked out well in advance. They don't just come to this and decide last minute, oh, we're going to put Siciliano on this game.
I know.
They
I get
probably
it.
know they're going to have him on there well in advance. And then, sadly, some stuff happened, obviously, with the radio situation in Cleveland with Jim Donovan. So they now moved to Andrew Siciliano. Either way, they should probably have rethought that one way or the other and said, maybe we don't have him on this NBC broadcast. We can do the game the next day.
We'll just dig up one of the other kids of the broadcasters we already have.
Well, no, I'm just shocked that NBC doesn't have a deeper broadcasting bench, given that they are NBC. It's not like we're talking about the CW is struggling to find a couple guys. That'd be different.
I would have taken Thom on the call.
Well, no kidding.
I watched a little Thom this weekend. It was NC State and someone. I don't know.
Whoever they played.
But I flipped it on just to see Tom Brenneman.
Yeah.
On the CW.
How'd he sound?
You know what? He still has that delivery.
Mm-hmm. He's always had that delivery.
And I think that's a lost art when it comes to play-by-play, is that you have to sound a certain way. And he doesn't sound like Paul Keel sounds. They have the same type of voice.
No.
It's not like he's a big baritone guy. But when he is doing play-by-play, he's in control of the entire situation.
Sure.
It's the control. It's knowing when to pull back, when it's time to let the audience tell the story. I think he does a fantastic job. Now, will he ever get a good job again?
No.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But for NC State and Slapjaw College on the CW?
It was your guys. It was Northern Illinois.
Wasn't bad. Oh, that's right. That's right.
But I'm with you. I think they could do a little better on NBC than a guy who's doing 2 games at once. Siciliano's not a bad play-by-play guy, but clearly, like, some of those errors Timmy was talking about, I think those were him.
Yeah.
And that's a guy, that's his job, is to know all that stuff, to step in if Colt McCoy messes something up, to correct him. That isn't happening if he's messing up the names. And he's got to go immediately get over to Cleveland to go do that game after.
There is a reason why football broadcasters usually work once a week.
Yeah.
There's a
reason
why.
It's an intensive process.
And why you don't do games 14 hours apart.
Yeah.
Different sports. College football and the NFL are completely different, too.
Absolutely right.
All right, coming up next. I swear we're going to talk about we had a big upset on Saturday in the SEC in Hillbilly Land. We'll talk about that. Plus, Vince McMahon has made an appearance at a Big Ten school. Details next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to hit some slow traffic if you're on westbound 161 between New Albany Road and Hamilton Road. And watch out for an accident that's on the left shoulder of westbound 70 on the east side after 33 that's causing some holdup. This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples prints anything you need for your business, like banners, flyers, and signs. And Staples will beat any price quote. Print more, save more. Up to $150 off your print purchase. Offer ends 11/2. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print or staples.com/price match for price match guarantee. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
Hey guys, it's Anthony Rothman. If you're feeling at a loss for energy or just not upbeat like you used to be, it could be low testosterone. That's right, it affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But guys have different T levels, so don't go for a standard dosage plan. Look for TRT with an optimized personal treatment plan, like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Do it now. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. Eventually. How about right now? Trust and Will makes the process of creating your will easy. Like while you're lounging on the couch, easy. Visit trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus for 10% off your plan. designed by attorneys but customized by you, one question at a time. Trust and Will offers a step-by-step process, and all documents are state-specific, legally valid, and secure. So you know your future is protected with peace of mind at trustandwill.com. Visit trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trustandwill.com. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney. Documents are not valid until formally executed in accordance with applicable law.
Hey, it's Bobby. If you've been thinking about changing the windows or doors in your home, it'd be dumb not to get a few estimates. It's a big purchase. All I'm saying is don't be double dumb and forget to include my friends at Pella Columbus, voted by Columbus as the leading, most trusted, and most likely to improve the look of your home. And with 5 different window lines for the $300,000 to the $3 million home, the Pella product is famous. And the local team here in town have been just as impressive. Check them out at PellaColumbus.com.
Friday night in the Buckeye State means only one thing: high school football, baby. Join Brian Baker and Coach Lee Cochran for Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime.
Friday night at 9:30.
Your home of all things football, The Fan.
Consider yourself a bourbon connoisseur? At Twin Peaks, we are proud to offer an exclusive and extensive collection of some incredibly rare bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas. Plus, check out our barrel selects that are handpicked by our team and bottled just for you. Cheers!
Hi, this is Tracy from Custom Air. Your comfort is our top priority at Custom Air, and that's why we trust Rheem, a top name in heating and cooling. Rheem provides the new degree of comfort, giving you peace of mind no matter the season. Whether it's the summer heat or winter chill, Rheem systems installed by Custom Air expert technicians have you covered. Ready to enhance your comfort? Visit CustomAirCo.com and let Custom Air make your home feel just right. Custom solutions, custom comfort, Custom Air.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Scott from the Cleveland area has coached girls basketball and supported his granddaughter's athletic pursuits.
My granddaughters have worked hard to excel in sports. It's tough enough. So the idea that Sherrod Brown voted to allow transgender biological men to compete in girls' sports, it's unfair and dangerous. And introducing a bill to allow biological men in girls' locker rooms? Biological men to shower in my granddaughter's locker room? No way. I worry about the safety of my family constantly. Now I have to worry about Sherrod Brown's crazy liberal ideas. I thought Sherrod Brown was on my side, but he's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown has let Ohio down. Now he's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. We did the math. Common Man has hosted over 5,000 shows on The Fan. 3 of them have been halfway decent. Here's Man and Bone.
Teddy?
Yeah.
This ain't one of them.
It might be. You know what else ain't one of them? You know what else ain't one of them? When your stupid baseball team takes a 3-run lead in the 8th, only to give up 4 in the ninth, or in the top of the 9th, bottom of the 8th. Wherever we are, bottom of the 8th. They're at home. Got it.
We're going to the top of the 9th. Mets need a run to tie.
The Mets were down 3-0.
Looked lifeless.
Storm back with 6 in the 8th. This is a Mets-Braves. Winner goes to the playoffs. Loser has another game with the same 2 teams to try to get it back. But they both want this game, obviously, to get it over with. And it was Mets up 6-3, and then everybody here is like, well, congrats, Bone. They're in the playoffs. Congrats. It's over.
First of all, I didn't say that to you.
You said they're demoralized.
I said I'm looking at the Braves. They look demoralized.
Teddy was in here to say, congrats, Bone. Hey, man, how you doing? Going to be in the playoffs. And then I'm just like, it's not over yet. It's not over. And it's not over.
It's not. I'll tell you what. I know this is, I don't want this for you, but This is a hell of a baseball game.
It is a hell of a baseball game. I wish it didn't involve my stupid team and the hated team that I have hated since I was 10 years old.
Bone, would you just be thankful that you get to do this while you're working?
You're right. Thank
this
God.
Is awesome.
This is so much fun to get to sit here trying to do my job and look up at the screen every 5 seconds, see if I'm going to be sad, happy, depressed, angry.
I'm having a lot of fun watching you.
I'm so glad. So glad.
All right, elsewhere around college football this weekend. Alabama beats Georgia in a thriller. That was one hell of a game.
So speaking of great college football, great sporting events, it didn't look like it was going to be that. I thought that looked like the type of game, if you were only watching that, not flipping, like I'm sure many of us were between that and the Ohio State game, you probably thought if you saw that first half score, we don't have to pay attention to this anymore. Then Georgia came storming back and then looked like they were going to win the game until nobody remembered how to tackle at the end of that game on either team. That was pretty bad.
Kentucky takes down Ole Miss, so another top 10 SEC team loses.
I was surprised Kentucky didn't make it into the top 25. I know they have
2 losses, though.
They have 2 losses and a bad one to South Carolina, where they kind of got destroyed. But one of those losses was to a team that is top 5. That, again, now that Georgia team obviously has a loss, but they lost that game 13-12.
Yeah. And
then they have now beaten, Ole Miss, a top 10 team. I'm surprised Kentucky didn't get a little more love. Give them a few more weeks where they have, a few more chances to. I don't think they're playing anybody for the next few weeks. They eventually will have to play Tennessee and a bunch of other ranked teams. But for now, I bet give them another week or two. They'll probably be in the top 25.
Arizona takes down number 10 Utah. Michigan survives Minnesota. That was a hell of a finish where Gophers come storming back and they recover the onside kick.
Yes.
But then there's what they call a legal formation or something.
Yeah.
Where they took it back. But
that's what it was.
This is yet another performance. And again, Michigan's winning these games, so I'll give them that. But it's another performance where it looks like they are totally incapable of throwing the football.
Oh, I know. I'm surprised that you can build a team roughly around this idea of having a quarterback who's, I understand that you may not have like Peyton Manning back there every single year, but I'm surprised that Michigan for so many years, even when J.J. McCarthy's there, doing his thing, he wasn't a great quarterback. He just found ways to make plays in certain big moments.
No, but he'd throw for over 100 yards.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying we looked at him and said, that's not really a great quarterback, but they're making it work because they have a great running game. They're able to, obviously play tremendous defense. Now you're literally talking about an offense that struggles to move the ball forward through the air at all with any efficiency, and it will come back to bite them eventually, I think, right? It has to.
I would think so. Wisconsin goes to USC. That was a hell of a first half by the Badgers. Then they thought the game was over.
Apparently, I kind of thought that's where it was heading too. But no, credit to USC. They stayed with it and showed that they were the better team eventually.
It has not gone well for Purdue. Remember they won their first game by like 97 points, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, Purdue, they could give Notre Dame a game. Instead, they lost 66-7. And it's been bad ever since then. They've scored 49 points. I'm sorry, what am I looking at? Nothing. Here's what I have to tell you.
Okay.
They fired their offensive coordinator. Graham Harrell fired. They brought Vince McMahon in to fire him.
And how did that sound?
You're fired.
I was sweating this one a little bit because I had a 4-team parlay going, a 4-game parlay happening for me. 3 of the games were doing great at halftime. I was not really worried at all. And then I looked up and saw 0-0 Nebraska-Purdue, and I had Nebraska winning that game, and I thought, uh-oh, this is bad news for Bone. And then it turned out Nebraska woke up in the second half. You know who else just woke up, Mike? You know who else just woke up?
I got to tell you, man.
You know who else just woke up?
This is one hell of a baseball game.
Frankie Lindor, baby!
Was it a 2-run shot or a solo shot?
2. They took the lead. Top of the 9th.
Man.
Mets, 2-run shot by your guy, Francisco Lindor. Sorry, Guards fans. I know it still sucks. But yes, the Mets are back on top of the Braves. I know it's a long day.
It's going to be a long, but not for you. If you win the game, whoever wins this game, the rest of the day is gravy.
Listen.
Because you're in.
All right. Forget if you're not a Braves fan, a Mets fan, you don't care about any of this, I totally understand. Let me just explain this part of it. At some point, this game will end, and one of these teams will be locked into the playoffs. The other team, they're both going to play again, and not like a day-night doubleheader. They're literally going to go
a straight doubleheader today.
They're going to turn right back around and get back out on the field after this. It's 8-7, and they've had like 5 lead changes in 2 innings. I don't know how do you even compete? The next game is just going to be the hot dog vendors from both teams just going to roll out there.
You're going to be late for dinner tonight, Braves fans, or late to the Klan meeting, wherever you go on a Monday night. Oh.
Yeah, that's healthy.
They're doing the chop.
Well, not now. They're not.
Now.
Mets are slowing that down. Let's go.
It's a good chant there by you.
You like that?
That's good.
Yeah. Definitely not something I've heard
in
for 30 years of just listening to that every single time. I was like, well, the Mets, maybe this year they'll make the playoffs and they'll I just hear that every time. I thought the Mets had hope.
All right, next hour. NFL heavy. Browns, Bengals, things. T-Bone has a stroke right on the air. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
There's a couple minutes slowdown on eastbound 70 on the west side between Mound Street and 315. And traffic is slow on southbound 71 on the north side from Hudson Street to 11th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Holiday hosting starts at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $899 or more. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, explains why he banks with First Bank of Central Ohio.
Anytime you're dealing with a local bank, it's about being able to pick up the phone and talk to real people. That is a huge pro. You know, when you get into these bigger banks, that doesn't happen.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they're also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6%. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about $10,000 in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
Would you believe that giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people? Or that a single cloud can weigh 550 tons or more? Sounds fake, right? How about an insurance company that actually treats you right? Sounds unbelievable, but it's true. NJM Insurance is proud to put policyholders first. And they don't use jingles or mascots either. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? Everything in this commercial is true and approved by the legal department. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit njm.com for a quote.
Get Nature Stone and never replace your flooring again. Nature Stone is a beautiful permanent flooring solution for garages, basements, and indoor spaces. Act now to get pricing as low as 99 cents a square foot plus installation. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. In a back-and-forth game in Atlanta, they're moving to the bottom of the ninth inning where the Braves lead the New York Mets 8-7. This is the first of a doubleheader that was made necessary because of postponements last week due to bad weather. Here's what determines it all. If either team sweeps the DH, the loser is left out of the playoffs, and Arizona claims a wild card spot. A split of the doubleheader gets both the Braves and the Mets in and leaves the Diamondbacks out. Blue Jackets host Washington in a preseason game tonight at Nationwide Arena, 7 o'clock faceoff. Here on The Fan, NHL announcing today that all teams will wear decals honoring the Blue Jackets' Johnny Gaudreau and his brother through October 24th. Officially announced today that the Ohio State game at Oregon on October 12th will be a 7:30 kickoff. NFL tonight, Tennessee at Miami, Seattle at Detroit. This update brought to you by Nature Stone. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone. Breaking sports news right here on The Fan.
Are you fired up? Is it Monday? It must be Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Does excessive amounts of Prozac make your sack droop down to your knees? Asking for a friend. My friend's name is Mike. Back to Droopy Sack and T-Bone.
Droopy Sack and T-Bone brought to you by the Hinderer Motor Company. Bone's got 2 more outs in this game.
I know.
Mets and Braves. Mets up by a run. Bottom of the ninth. Whoever wins this game goes to the postseason. They have another game to play.
Yeah.
So theoretically, the Mets can win game 1. The Braves can win game 2. And then the Diamondbacks are at home crying.
Yeah, if you're a Diamondbacks fan watching this, you're sitting at home going, whoever, I don't care who wins.
You want a sweep.
You then want that team to win again the next game, which is supposedly set to start at 4:40 p.m. That was the time this morning that they said these 2 games would start. You know, they have 1 o'clock and 4:40. I don't know if they'll push that back slightly because this game is going a little bit long.
It's only 4:03.
No, you're right.
Game started at 1.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just saying it's hoping that again, if it's 2 more outs, then you're right. They'll start at 4:40.
All right, we have to dedicate the program today to Dikembe Mutombo.
Oh, I was so sad.
Dies of brain cancer at the age of 58. I did not realize he was sick.
No, I didn't either.
You know, Dikembe was obviously a terrific defensive player for his entire career. But as you and I were talking before the show, this is a guy who, behind the scenes and off the court, did so much in Africa helping people.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's a loss anytime someone of this stature passes away. But for the extra stuff as well, I never met the guy, seemed like a fantastic guy.
Right. When you talk about legacies for people, right? We don't know what we're going to leave when we leave this mortal plane, but this is a guy who will be remembered well beyond the basketball accolades. He did a lot of good things for humans, which should be recognized, should be noted. I mean, this guy was an 8-time All-Star. Like you said, Defensive Player of the Year 4 times. I mean, led the league in rebounding a couple years, led the league in blocks multiple years, made a ton of first and second team all defensive teams for the NBA. Like, this is just an all-around excellent player. Yeah, I mean,
they checked him a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just to make sure he was dead.
Well,
because maybe he sits up and says, "Not today," and he wags his finger. Look at him.
Wouldn't surprise me. The man was larger than life in many ways. So, yeah, we're going to miss that. We're going to miss him being around. I didn't know he was sick. I feel bad that I didn't know that. But I think he was a beloved player. When you say he's one of those guys that goes into the category of not just a dominant, defensive presence, all that stuff, but had a personality that if you knew nothing about basketball, you were aware probably of him and maybe some other players that probably he got more famous than just what his on-the-court accolades would have garnered for another player. He just had a great personality and obviously did a lot of good things.
You got 2 Monday night games tonight. Titans at Dolphins. Yuck. And then Seahawks at Lions is the late. I say late game. These games overlap, but
yeah.
Titans, Dolphins, ESPN, Seahawks, Lions, ABC.
Why are we doing that?
I don't know why.
Was this the fix when basically ESPN was complaining and saying, hey, we paid all this money, Disney paid all this money to get Monday Night Football, and we keep getting these terrible games. So then the NFL was like, well, how about we give you 2 on multiple occasions so that at least hopefully one of them will be good? I guess that's the solution.
Yeah, but why do you want to fragment the audience?
Well,
shouldn't one of these be like a 10 o'clock start out west? Wouldn't that make more sense?
I don't know. That last week, that game, right, which one of the games was just like a blowout. It was easy. Was that wasn't the Bengals game? Am I wrong? Who played last weekend? I can't even remember. The NFL season's only been like 3 weeks.
Is it the Bills?
The Bengals and Commanders played.
Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. Is that the game I'm thinking? One of them was a blowout.
The Bills was a blowout.
Yeah, that's right. The Bills was the blowout game, and so everybody then switched over to that Commanders game, I'm guessing.
The Bills-Jags?
Yes, that's right. I wonder how the ratings were affected by that. Like, did that Bills game do similar numbers to what the Bengals-Commanders game did, even though one of those would have been a much better game? I'm wondering if people don't flip over after a while and say, okay, this one's terrible, let's go to the good game, and maybe that was the idea. I don't know. All
right, speaking of Bengals, they beat the Panthers. Absolute must win, needed it. I have not talked to Chris Spielman in a while, okay? Mm-hmm. But I know, doing the show with Spielman, being around Spielman for many years, when he would see displays of bad tackling, it would, like, pain him physically. Like, you could see the life force suck out of him.
Right.
Something physically changed. I'm watching that Jamar Chase catch and run yesterday. And look, Jamar Chase, fantastic athlete.
Yes,
right?
Of course.
Fantastic. Everything's fantastic about that. I'm going to say fantastic 18 million times like I'm Trump. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
However, that may be the worst display of tackling I've ever seen. I don't know what Spielman was doing because the Lions are playing tonight. Maybe he was enjoying the day with his family, or maybe he was at home watching football. I just hope somebody checked on him because he had a heart attack and died if he was watching
was the game, yeah. I don't know what's happening with that this weekend because we saw that in college football. It just a spate of bad tackling this week. But you know what? Bengals fans aren't going to complain about that.
No, you needed the game. You got the game.
Yeah.
Does this change the entire season? No. But it keeps you alive for one more week.
Well, you can't go right. I was saying let's not panic about 0-3. I think at some point you do have to panic if you never win any games.
No, of course.
And obviously this is not the cleanest performance they've ever had, but
you got the victory.
Yeah,
you beat the Red Rifle.
As you should.
Browns lose in Vegas.
Well, we don't have to talk much about this team because there's not going to be much to say about them going forward. Let's not make this anything that it shouldn't be. The Browns, yes, Deshaun Watson is bad. Yes, Deshaun Watson is not the answer at quarterback. He is not your future. He is not your present. He should have not had Jameis Winston brought in to make him feel better. It should have been Joe Flacco there to push him to try to see what could have happened there. Regardless, this is where we are. All that being said, that Browns team is not. I saw Dan Orlovsky say something like, "Oh man, if they had Baker Mayfield on the Browns, that the Browns team would be the Vikings." Would they? Or would they be a still team that can't catch passes when they are on target and has mind-boggling interceptions given up, like Amari Cooper, where he has that one hit him in the numbers, pops up and goes the other way because the Raiders, grabbed it out of thin air? Would it be a team that can't find any offensive line help to save their life? Would it be a team that constantly gets dumb penalty after dumb penalty after dumb penalty? I think it still would be, even if Deshaun Watson wasn't your quarterback. Maybe some of that wouldn't be pressing so much if the Browns weren't just always thinking Deshaun Watson's going to throw a pick or something, but still, there's no way.
Your point.
There's no way this Browns team is quote unquote so good they're just a quarterback away. He's bad, but so is the rest of this team.
I think Deshaun Watson sucks too, but this is more than just a number 4 problem. This is just not a good football team right now.
No,
I mean you're losing to the Raiders, you're losing to the Giants.
No, there should be no delusions about what this team is. They will struggle to win 8 games this year. They're not a playoff caliber team unless something massive changes with them. And sorry, Jameis Winston's on the sidelines getting into it. Like, he's trying to pep talk everybody. He's trying to, and they asked him after the game about that because, DeJuan Jones and Deshaun Watson had a little argument, and Jameis Winston's there, and they're all kind of they're all talking heatedly. And after the game, he's like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to pump my guys up. That's what I do. I'm Jameis Winston. I pump everybody up. Great. You're 1-3. Your pump-up speeches are not working. You're not going to save this team either by actually playing football for it. So this is where I'm at now. I don't think the quarterback situation's good. I don't think the actual team is very good. And you're going to struggle the rest of the year against anybody who's a 500 or better team.
That's sort of the label on Jameis Winston his entire career, is that he's just annoying. He's one of those annoying guys that nobody wants around. Look, Deshaun Watson got in what's-his-name's face. Okay?
Yeah.
Is it the healthiest thing to do? No. But it's the heat of the moment. You're playing in a football game. Emotions get the better of you.
Right. Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday do it. Everybody talks about how great it is.
You know what? The backup quarterback should stay the hell out of it.
No.
It has nothing to do with you.
He's got to insert himself into everything.
It has nothing to do with you.
He's the cheerleader. He's like a quasi-coach, I think, in his head. He's like motivational speaker, part-time coach.
He's annoying.
Never a football player, all the above.
And we said it in the offseason, too, where everybody in the national media, and even locally, too, in the state of Ohio, people took like a victory lap when Andrew Berry and Stefanski got extensions. And it's like, oh, well, they hit a home run. They had to do. You don't have to do anything.
No.
Like I just said, this is not just a number 4 problem, but even if it was, that's a pretty big problem to have.
Yeah, very big.
Paying a bunch of money for a quarterback who sucks.
Well, and God forbid someone bring up the fact that maybe when you guarantee all that money to a quarterback, perhaps that affects how much money you can give to the rest of the roster, and maybe that's why you're not as deep at some of these positions. Now, I know they've had offensive line injuries. They've had all kinds of other injuries.
Everybody's got injuries, man. Come on, this is the NFL. What are we talking about?
It is. You're exactly right.
Mets win, baby.
Yeah.
They clinch a postseason spot.
Feels good. Feels real good.
You're sweating.
Well, the job is not done. Now the job is to put Atlanta out of the playoffs. I've immediately transitioned to, I don't even know if my little plucky team can get in, my plucky team with like a $300 million payroll. But also now I'm like, I want to see Atlanta like completely out of the playoffs. So do their fans. They didn't even show up for this game. Bunch of losers.
I thought it was full.
Full?
It looked like the stadium was full.
No, it was empty.
No? Teddy.
It was empty.
Nobody's in there?
No, maybe it was half full.
Half full at best.
Yeah.
No one was there.
Disgraceful.
No one was there.
No, nobody was there.
And half of those people were Mets fans.
Yeah.
That's disgraceful.
Come on.
Hell with the Braves.
That's right. That's what I say.
Keep them out. Put the Diamondbacks in. Those are real fans down there. All those retirees sitting around in 114-degree heat.
No. They're
Kurt
inside.
Schilling drawing swastikas on people's face. Yeah.
He's not around. He's not hanging out with them anymore. Who? That's what they say when you're like, hey, remember when Kurt Schilling pitched here? They're like, I'm sorry? What? I didn't hear you.
Oh, they remember because they polished the trophy.
Well,
I'm just saying.
The trophy's fine, but they don't have to talk about any of the rest of who was on that team.
Bad injury news for the Bengals. Details next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got an accident that's on the left shoulder of westbound 270 on the north outer belt between 315 and Sawmill Road. And expect a 10-minute delay on northbound 71 on the north side from 670 to 17th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
After 31 years in Washington, just how much has Sherrod Brown changed? When he first wanted our vote, he said this.
My allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
To Ohio? Sherrod Brown voted for amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. And he voted to give them taxpayer-funded benefits, like free health care to illegals who get amnesty, Social Security checks, COVID relief checks, all to be paid for by you. And Sherrod Brown's open border policies have led to more fentanyl, dangerous gangs, even terrorists pouring into our country. So when Sherrod Brown says this,
my allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
Don't listen to what Sherrod Brown says. Watch what he does. Because Sherrod Brown doesn't vote for Ohio anymore. He's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
With so much in one place, Meijer is the only stop you'll need to make. Save big with weekly deals going on now. Like California red or black seedless grapes, only $1.49 per pound. Fresh from Meijer 80% lean ground beef, just $4.99 a pound. And Meijer shredded, sliced, or chunk cheese, 3 for $6. You can always count on low prices and great quality at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See these deals and more in-store or in the Meijer app.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, "How you doing, Tom?" I go, "Hey, I'm not your stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not."
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to Schottenstein Center Friday, October 4th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Tom Segura, Come Together.
We have a lot of football happening. I'm here to help. Set your radio preset to the Fan. Very good. Now set the second one to ESPN Columbus. It's the HD2 button. Lastly, go to the Fan's HD3 and save the Fan 3. Crisis averted. You're welcome. Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Have we spent enough time telling homeowners how much the name Eco can actually mean?
Well, I did name the company that, so yes.
I mean explaining that Eco can stand for how much better we can make your plumbing. Ecologically speaking.
Get Eco.
A tankless water heater, for example. Switching to tankless means your family has unlimited hot water. Shower after shower after shower. Without having to use precious electricity to keep a big tank of water hot 24 hours a day. It's ecological.
Pretty good wordplay for a guy that almost failed English, don't you think?
Get Eco.
I think if more people knew they could help the planet just by taking a shower, I think we might be onto something.
That's not quite as ecological as the first thing you said, but okay.
You know, I'm working on inventing a new kind of junk mail that throws itself away.
And the planet thanks you, Jerry.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
After 31 years in Washington, just how much has Sherrod Brown changed? When he first wanted our vote, he said this.
My allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
To Ohio? Sherrod Brown voted for amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. And he voted to give them taxpayer-funded benefits, like free health care to illegals who get amnesty, Social Security checks, COVID relief checks, all to be paid for by you. And Sherrod Brown's open border policies have led to more fentanyl, dangerous gangs, even terrorists pouring into our country. So when Sherrod Brown says this,
my allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
Don't listen to what Sherrod Brown says. Watch what he does. Because Sherrod Brown doesn't vote for Ohio anymore. He's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of clouds around, scattered showers, and temperatures on the cool side. Only low 70s on this Monday. Overnight, we'll see the showers entering, fog moving in, some patchy, dense fog by Tuesday morning. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. And after a foggy start, we'll see some clouds, a little sunshine, more showers, and a few thunderstorms by late Tuesday and Tuesday evening. Highs in the upper 70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Did you feel that? It's your radio getting fatter. Getting fatter.
Chubby time!
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Happy Monday. It's Reaction Monday. It's also Get a New Roof Monday.
That's right, Mike. You never know what's going to happen. You never know when you're going to need that new roof. But when it happens or when you realize it's finally time to make the call, the number you need to call is 614-444-ROOF. That's the number Central Ohioans have been calling for over 22 years, where they've been the #1 roofing company in Columbus. That's Able Roof. 24-hour turnaround time on most jobs. They've got a no payment, no interest deal going right now. That is good through 2026. No payments, no interest till 2026, and up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, and windows. Call them today. The best in the business, Able Roof, 614-444-ROOF. Again, that's 614-444-ROOF.
Yesterday, the Bengals got the win that they desperately needed. It did come at a cost, though. Trey Hendrickson had to leave. They ruled him out with a neck injury after he, ran into Sam Hubbard's mighty chest. And so he was on the ground for about 5 minutes. Finally walked off under his own power. But this is a guy who has had neck injuries in the past. I don't know if he was tested for a concussion. I assume he was. But reports are is that he also left the stadium yesterday in a sling. Arm in a sling. So neck, arm, maybe it's all one and the same. Don't move the arm, don't move the shoulder. Who the hell knows? But that's not a good sign.
No, not at all. I mean, this Bengals team obviously is not out of the woods just because they won a game. They have to continue to pile things up here. And we talked about their schedule. It's not like it's going to be getting, very easy for them. They do have to play the Ravens next. And then, they got a couple games against the Giants and the Browns. Those are both on the road.
Hey.
You can get right.
Tough duty.
Well, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
For a team that's 1-3,
you're right.
Everything's tough duty.
You're right. But that Ravens game looms large. Obviously, that's going to be tough. It's not like this is all just fixed now because you won a game. And if you're losing a player like that, that can obviously hurt your season even further. So, there's a long way to go before they claw out of this dark tunnel that they're in right now.
I watched a lot of football yesterday. Here's some thoughts for you.
Okay.
Young Ho Koo, my guy, 58-yarder. Falcons beat the Saints. Young Ho Koo, I love the name. He's actually one of these kickers that sort of comes at the ball straight on. Look, we've seen a lot of this. We've seen a lot of 50-plus. We've seen 60-plus. Like it's no big deal. And the discussion is, have these guys gotten too good? Do we need to change something? Do we need to raise the crossbar or narrow the goalpost? Do we have to do something like that? I am voting for chaos, so yes.
Well, you know what I would say with that? Because we've had so many people talking about, remember, who was it that was bringing this up a few weeks ago that, maybe we need to put more penalties on the defense because God knows they're not penalized enough.
Was that Kuiper talking about outlawing Tampa too?
Yes, because Mel Kiper said we're not scoring enough and nobody's taking risks and everybody's trying to play these little dink and dunk offenses because no one wants to take deep shots. May I offer this solution or suggestion that when you fix, or I don't want to say fix, if you change the way that field goals are, you do narrow the field goal posts. If you make it tougher to make these field goals, what's that going to do to offenses? What's that going to do to coaches who look at a 4th and 2 from like the 48-yard line? They might try to go for it a little bit more. Not that they don't go for it now, but the kicking game coming back is something that will cause more of these offenses to say, well, hey, man, if we just got to cross midfield and then we're going to get 3 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe that gets them to get out of that thinking a little bit because you're right. We're getting to a point now where half the teams in the league have a kicker who can make from 55 plus. And that is going to change the way they run offense. It's going to change their game plan. Especially, you don't see a lot of NFL games where you're just down by 3 scores and you got to go for it like you tend to in college. Usually these are 7 to 10 point games for most of the game. That means a field goal or two either way could change the outcome. So, yes, I think that's something to at least consider.
Vikings hold on and beat the Packers. This was in Lambeau. They jumped out to a 28-0 lead.
Yeah.
And the Packers came back, and it's a long football game, all that. Here's the reality. Vikings remain undefeated. Sam Darnold looks like an MVP quarterback. It's not like, things are just breaking their way. Because we've seen teams start 4-0, but you look at them and say, are they really that good?
They look excellent.
I'm telling you, this offense looks great. Sam Darnold looks confident. And I guess when you're throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson, they have weapons on that team. A lot of people can look confident. But I'm sure they would say this was the plan all along. It wasn't. J.J. McCarthy was your plan all along. Right? You drafted him in the first round. He goes down. All of a sudden, Sam Darnold comes in, former first-round pick who's been bounced around, and he looks like the veteran who finally gets it.
I know. It's a wild situation for the Vikings there because they genuinely did not have this planned. But now, next year, presuming this continues, right, and Sam Darnold has actually found something. They found something with him, however you want to look at that. You're going to have your number one pick sitting on the bench next year, potentially. I mean, that's where this seems to be headed right now.
It's a good problem to have, I guess.
A great problem to have, but to your point, how much credit do you give a team when they luck into a backup that actually I have no belief that J.J. McCarthy would be doing this in this Vikings offense.
No, but in fairness, who's calling the plays there? Do we know? I forget. Anyway,
forget who it is.
They are calling the plays. They are making Sam Darnold successful. Now, Sam's got to make the throws, all right, which he's doing for the first time in his career. But they're running an offense that tailors to him. They didn't just take the offense they had for J.J. McCarthy and say, okay, now try and do this.
Yeah, you're right. Wes Phillips is the offensive coordinator there for whatever it's worth.
Wes Phillips.
Kind of looks like Ted Lasso a little bit.
Sure. Trent Richardson's dead. Anthony Richardson.
Not Trent Richardson.
Trent Richardson's really dead. Hurt his hip again. He gets hurt every single day. But who was there?
Flacco, my Cracko.
Joe Flacco. He's back-o. Handed the Steelers their first loss yesterday, Bone.
Dude, I don't know what the logic was in letting him leave Cleveland.
You know what the logic was.
Well, no,
it just was poor logic.
That's not logic, though. It's we don't want to hurt Deshaun Watson's feelings.
Well, that's logic. It's just
I guess you're right.
It's bad logic.
Logic I don't agree with, and logic I think doesn't help you win football games.
He said after the game yesterday, they didn't even call him. Like the Browns didn't even call. Because somebody said, like, hey, what was it about the Colts that really stuck out to you? He said, they called.
Right.
Not a lot of people called.
You know, that actually does shock me. I understand I don't understand it, but I am aware of the way the Browns look at the situation they have with Deshaun Watson. They feel like that somehow they're obligated to keep trying to make him work because you gave him all that money. You guaranteed all of it. You went out and made this ridiculous offer that no one else is willing to give him, and then it hasn't worked out, and you've just doubled down on your sunk cost rather than trying to make a better football team. But whatever. I mean, I didn't think Joe Flacco was going to necessarily take you to the Super Bowl. You saw what happened in the playoffs. Once he got there, he had his Joe Flacco game where he throws like 3 picks and melts down, and that's why he's no longer like a reliable option in this league. I understand that, but having him as a backup you could turn to for a couple of weeks when you just need someone to go in there and stop the bleeding, that might have been good. Instead, a team that has clearly concerns at the quarterback with how their starting quarterback can stay healthy, they went out and got him, and look how that's paid off.
The segment that's not a segment, Yikes, is coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got some stop-and-go traffic that's causing a 5-minute delay if you're on eastbound 70 downtown between the 71 east and west split. And watch out for an accident that's on the right shoulder of northbound 71. On the north side after 670, that's causing some holdup. This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Use your own body's healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get you real lasting pain relief? That sounds amazing. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine. And if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, I've had it before. I've had it in my knee. I went and saw the professionals, the experts at QC Kinetics. They're the leaders in regenerative medicine. Guess what? There's no surgery, there's no drugs, there's no downtime. And my dad did it as well. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients just like me. So I'm back to running again. My dad is back to walking again. They've got locations conveniently located in Dublin and Gahanna. So go check them out by going to qckinetics.com betterhelp.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Hey guys, it's Anthony Rothman. If you're feeling at a loss for energy or just not upbeat like you used to be, it could be low testosterone. That's right, it affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But guys have different T levels, so don't go for a standard dosage plan. Look for TRT with an optimized personal treatment plan like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Do it now. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Pop quiz. What's the best way to go back to school? With Giant Eagle and Market District, of course. From lunchbox favorites to fun after-school snacks, shop deals for school days and save on thousands of items throughout the store. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Your small business can save big with the SACA benefit plan. 844-MEDOhio.com. That's 844-MEDOhio.com. Anthem's SACA benefit plan. 844-MEDOhio.com.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
Hi, Bob and Teresa Capace here for Worthington Jewelers.
Join us for our semi-annual bridal sale.
Featuring our BOGO, buy one, get one 50% off on engagement rings, wedding bands, or wedding sets. Worthington Jewelers, where Columbus gets engaged.
Scott from the Cleveland area has coached girls basketball and supported his granddaughter's athletic pursuits.
My granddaughters have worked hard to excel in sports. It's tough enough. So the idea that Sherrod Brown voted to allow transgender biological men to compete in girls' sports, it's unfair and dangerous. And introducing a bill to allow biological men in girls' locker rooms? Biological men to shower in my granddaughter's locker room? No way. I worry about the safety of my family constantly. Now I have to worry about Sherrod Brown's crazy liberal ideas. I thought Sherrod Brown was on my side, but he's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown has let Ohio down. Now he's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point of sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Come for the obesity, stay for the anger. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Bone and I do all our banging at Hollywood Casino Columbus and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, which is right on the premises. It's 12,000 square feet. Bone and I broadcasted the show live Friday. Got to meet a lot of you, and we're going to be back in a few weeks. Is it October 11th?
I believe the day before the Buckeyes' big trip out to the West Coast.
Yes, so if you missed us on Friday, we'll be back at Hollywood Casino in the near future. But you don't have to wait until we're there to go enjoy the perks of Hollywood Casino Columbus and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. And if you can't get out there in person, download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on your phone. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I don't think with these reads we're supposed to mention team names, so I was like, I won't say Oregon in that
So
commercial.
you'll say Buckeyes instead? So Buckeyes go out.
Stupid.
West.
Stupid. What a dope. Sorry about
you
that.
mean just regular Buckeyes? Because they call people from Ohio
People
Buckeyes.
from Ohio. We're just Buckeyes because we live here.
Right.
The Buckeye State. You know what I meant.
Yikes time. New Mexico State offensive coordinator Tyler Wright is under investigation for icky social media posts. Yikes. Now, these posts were from back when he was banging, 2011 to 2014. So I'm sure this is just one post and another overreaction from the correctness brigade, or it was over 150 tweets containing slurs and derogatory references towards women, gays, blacks, and Hispanics.
Oh, boy.
Yikes. The Asians and Jews feel left out, but don't worry, he'll get to them. Please let this be a lesson to you bros out there. I know you're just living the life. Nothing can touch you. But when you post things on social media, it will come back to bite you in the ass. So just don't. And also, don't be a terrible person. Yikes.
Colorado played UCF this weekend. Colorado football's social media team decided, let's put former Ohio State running back Dallin Hayden in our social media. That's fine. No problems with that. However, again, they were playing in Florida this past weekend. You know, Florida had just been hit hard by a hurricane. They made a post that showed Dallin Hayden standing in waist-high water. This was all photoshopped. He had nothing to do with it. And it appears to be depicted with palm trees in the background. And they, had a caption with it that all seemed to indicate like they're standing in water. People said, that's not good. They just got flooding from a hurricane. What are you doing? So they quickly deleted that. Still, yikes. Then they posted a photo of Coach Prime and some of the other Colorado players on their practice field in Florida getting ready for the game, saying, just with the caption, Sunshine State, thinking that's probably a little bit safer, except again, the weather's been a problem. It's raining, there's clouds, sunshine, the last thing they're saying. Maybe just stay away from anything meteorological when there's a giant hurricane coming through. Yikes on all accounts from that social media team for Colorado.
The Broncos beat the Jets yesterday 10-9, but they did it without their rookie quarterback doing much. Bo Nix, he finished the game 12 of 25 for just 60 yards. Yikes. Nix was just 7 of 15 for -7 passing yards in the first half. Yikes. In the win, the Broncos became the first team in the Super Bowl era to have 4 different players with at least 1 catch, but 0 or negative receiving yards. Yikes.
Jim Harbaugh is the head coach of the L.A. Chargers. In the past 3 weeks, their second-half offense has left a bit to be desired. Against the Panthers, the Chargers managed 6 second-half points. The next week against the Steelers, 0 second-half points. Yesterday against the Chiefs, 0 second-half points. Yikes. See, when Jimmy was at Michigan, he had a few things working for him. He psychically knew what was coming, and he had the benefit of mostly playing teams you would naturally wear down in the second half because their roster's not as deep and talented as yours. But in the NFL, you actually have to, coach. Yikes.
Well, we just mentioned the hurricane going on. There's been a lot of devastation. Obviously, our thoughts with everybody who's dealing with that. There's another concern with the flooding from this hurricane, and that is electric vehicles catching on fire. Most EVs use lithium-ion batteries, which are energy efficient. However, they're also highly reactive with water. And while if you drive them in the rain, that's fine. That's not going to hurt anything. If they're exposed to water for prolonged conditions, maybe in a situation where they're like flipped upside down as floodwaters drag your car away, they can actually explode. NHTSA, the National Traffic Safety Administration, they issued a warning about this back during 2012's Hurricane Sandy, and they started seeing this in every subsequent flooding situation. Now they're warning people, if you're near floodwaters, it's probably too late, but move your car. Yeah, I'm sure they would if they could, but if you can't, watch out for the exploding Teslas. Yikes.
The Tigers made the playoffs somehow. They had 0 players get 150 hits on this season. They had 0 players with 75 or more RBIs. They had 0 players with 25 or more home runs. They had 0 players with 25 or more stolen bases. Yikes. They became the first team ever to make the playoffs in a 162-game season without having any players reach any of those marks. Yikes.
Being a first-time parent is hard. Dawns on you pretty quick that it's not about what you want to do anymore. It's about caring for the baby. And for some people, that can be a hard adjustment. 21-year-old Darian, 20-year-old Shalene are a couple of those first-time parents. They found themselves in a predicament. They wanted beer, but didn't have any money. But they did have a baby. Yikes. An acquaintance of theirs, Cody Martin, offered to buy their baby for a 6-pack of beer and a $1,000 cashier's check. Yikes. They had a contract drawn up and everything. Cody typed it up, and it read, in part, quote, "There will be no change in y'all's two minds and to never contact again," end quote. This was being done at a campground, so other people saw what was going on and called the police. Yikes.
You know what? I'm going to say it's probably a good idea for them to not be the parents of that child if that was even a thought they had. But I'm guessing the guy who's like, y'all don't change your minds now. Here's your beer and your $1,000. Maybe that guy's not the one to raise the kid either.
Well, you know what? I mean, they were brought up on charges, but the baby was taken away from them. And by all accounts, they got to drink their beer. So, looks like they came out ahead.
I guess they got what they wanted.
Yikes.
Up and coming Birmingham, Alabama straight edge band No Cure had to cancel a couple of their upcoming shows in Florida, not due to the hurricane, but due to two of the members of the band getting stabbed in Nashville outside of a concert Wednesday night. Yikes. Vocalist Blaise Stoyer and bassist Jake Murnane were involved in a stabbing while trying to break up a fight. I say involved. A man by the name of James Lucas Smith, 43, is charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault following a fight at Cobra Bar in Nashville. These two stepped in to try to break up the fight. They were stabbed, allegedly, by this guy. He then ran. The cops were called. They were taken to the hospital. The bassist, Jake Murnane, actually had to stay overnight in the hospital and get 27 staples to his stomach. Blaise, the vocalist, was able to leave that same evening. The band, though, needs help with medical bills, so if you want to go to a website called deathmetalhottopic.com, you can buy shirts that they made, one of which has the stab wound drawn onto the shirt. The other one has a picture of the guy who got stabbed. You can buy either of those shirts. It will help the band with their medical bills. Still, yikes.
The 2024 MLB season is just the 3rd season in history to have 3 teams with 100 or more losses, but 0 teams with 100 or more wins. Yikes. The other 2 times this happened, it was 1908 and 1964. Yikes.
I was talking to my dad on Saturday. We had to have the conversation. Mm-hmm. You know, when you're a kid, your parents have the conversation with you about the birds and the bees and how things work.
Sure.
Then when your parents get to be older, you have to have the conversation with them about Peacock.
It's very similar in some aspects. Totally
I know,
foreign
Dad,
in other
I think
ones,
you should sit down here. You're not going to be able to watch the game tonight because it's on Peacock. It's on the what? It's on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that conversation, but then he asked me after that, when is this all going to stop? When is it going to go back to regular TV? I have the answer, and I'll share it with you coming up next. Colin, Man, and T-Bone on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to run into a couple minutes slowdown if you're on eastbound 70 on the east side between Hamilton Road and Bryce Road. And traffic is also slow on southbound 71 on the north side from East Broad Street to I-70. This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America NA copyright 2024. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Columbus, the wait is over. Blue Jackets hockey is back. Come feel the boom all season long. Be here Tuesday, October 15th for the home opener, presented by Nationwide. Get your tickets today at bluejackets.com.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Todd Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Hi, this is Tracy from Custom Air. With school back in session, now is the perfect time to schedule your HVAC maintenance. Keep your system running smoothly with a Custom Air maintenance plan. It's one less worry this school year. Visit customairco.com. Custom solutions, custom comfort, Custom Air.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
It's Customer Appreciation Week with special deals like select Kroger brand pasta sauce or pasta for only 99 cents each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Morning Juice.
I think I saw Coach Lachlan in Locked Up Abroad. I think he was one of the guards in there. He's juiced.
His arms are popping out of those polos, man.
He's an awesome guy.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We love that place so much, Mike. We're going back again to do a live broadcast.
Friday, October 11th. Be there, be a loser. 3 to 6. That's what time the show is.
I mean, we're losers for being on the show, but you can hang out with us and not be a loser.
We have lots of prizes to give away, including hockey tickets, and we're talking about the big football game they're going to be playing the next day.
Plus, we'll have a fan prize pack given away every hour of the show and stickers.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Fox Tonight.
911, what's your emergency? 911, what's your emergency?
A train just derailed. The 911 Lone Star season premiere event continues.
All companies pull back.
Then,
this is the most dangerous stretch of beach in the world.
Rescue High Surf is TV's hottest new drama.
2 fishermen on kayaks.
Was unconscious. Getting dangerous.
I'm going in.
911 Lone Star and Rescue High Surf, all new.
Tonight starting at 8 on Fox 28.
With so much happening every day,
ABC6 News is on your side, helping you understand the events that impact your community.
Do you believe Columbus City Schools is in a PR crisis?
Central Ohio's most experienced team of reporters, persistent in getting answers to the questions you're asking.
Are you worried about how people are going to react?
And when you need us, ABC6 News is on your side, finding solutions.
6 on your side, they're the ones willing to answer the phone.
You can count on ABC6 News to be on your side.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Fall is here. It's still warm and dry and everything's brown. But yay, fall. Maybe after your summer road trips, you've realized your vehicle sucks. My friends at Jermaine Lexus want to help. Right now, they have special APRs as low as 2.99% on their most popular models like the ES and RX, or lease payments starting as low as $4.99 a month. My friends at Jermaine are the best in the business. If you're in the market, please stop in. 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Want to know anything about the fans' contests, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Just be glad you aren't as stupid as these two.
Oh, yes.
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Happy Monday. It is Reaction Monday. It's also Yikes Monday. And Jason's Beat at 5:34. Jason is ready to go.
Oh,
he is sending me text messages. He wants to do the segment now.
Well, how about that game, right? I mean, the Mets-Braves game, you've got obviously Guardian storylines to talk about as they got to sit here for a week and watch as the playoffs get underway. Good for them. But there's so much to talk about this time of year.
I was having a conversation with my father on Saturday. He said, how do I watch the game tonight? I said, well, you have to have Peacock. Do I have Peacock? Well, do you pay for Peacock, Dad?
You'll know if you have it.
I mean, chances are, if you don't even know what it is, you don't have it.
Yeah, it's not like one of those illnesses where you find out later, like, oh, I've had this bacterial infection. I had no idea that's what was making me sick. No, you know if you have Peacock or not. It's very obvious.
Look, I am one of these guys. I'm 44 years old, but I've been a geezer my entire life. I've always acted older, crotchety.
Can confirm.
Get off my lawn. That type of guy. But you know what? As I've gotten older, too, I've also learned that it's not worth it. I got to pick my battles.
Absolutely
with some of this
right.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, I changed the name of this stadium again. I refuse. Who cares?
No. I mean, I'm with you. Like, how many times has that Promo West, was it Kemba Live now?
I don't even know what the hell it is.
You know what I'm talking about, though. Everybody knows exactly the venue I'm talking about when I say all that. And depending on when you lived in Columbus.
By the baseball stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
Where they have concerts. Depending on when you've lived in Columbus, depends on probably if you grew up here versus if you moved here 10 years ago, you probably call it a different name because it's changed names a few times. At the end of the day, once everyone figures out what it's called, they know what you're talking about. Is it that big of a deal if you get the sponsor wrong?
Well,
probably not. But it's also not a big deal if they change the name tomorrow. We'll all adjust to that, and we'll try to remember what to call it then.
What I'm saying is we carry around a bookie in our pocket with our phones.
Yeah.
You know, they're putting advertisements on sleeves of baseball jerseys and helmets on NHL helmets on NHL helmets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got a sticker on the NHL helmet that has a sponsor on it.
You know, and I used to be the guy where it's like, what is this coming to? And it's, okay, we can yell about this or we can just accept what it is. And he said, when is it going to go back to just being on regular TV? And I said, Dad, never. This is it now. Now, you may decide it's not worth it to me. I don't care about this game enough to pay for it. That's your call, and I understand that completely. But if you're yearning for the days and you're going to bitch and moan about games like this being on Peacock, then you're just going to make yourself miserable for no reason. Now, you can bitch and moan about the quality of the broadcast on Peacock if you're paying for it and that's the crap they give you.
Right.
I understand that, but here's why it's never going to change. I just saw this today. Cowboys, Giants, Amazon Prime Video last Thursday. Amazon averaged 16.22 million for Thursday Night Football. It was the most streamed non-playoff game in NFL history. The numbers continue to go up for the streaming, not down. People are going to the product. They're seeking out the product. They're paying for the product. This is not going to change.
Well, remember, and I find it odd that, and maybe this is why, like when people reach a certain age, if that's the age they're at where they're like, I'm done learning the new technology, I'm done with that. I would think most of the people my dad's age, your dad's age, or most people even over 40 can remember when Big Ten Network became a thing. And when people were like, well, my cable company doesn't get Big Ten Network.
Had to pay extra, right?
Right.
Different tier they put you on.
And some cable companies just were like, we don't carry this. We don't have enough people who want it. And if you didn't get it, you could ask and they would say, sorry, we don't give it to you. We don't have it on our service. So then people had to call and complain. And when did they start doing that? Probably whenever their team wasn't on it or was on it and they couldn't watch it. But I remember I'm sure remember it too very well. When they went to Ohio State being on Big Ten Network for a game. And it was like you had just told everyone Ohio State was going to play a home game in Dubai.
It was the end of the world.
It was like, how will I see this? I'm not going to be able to watch this. And then all the cable companies got calls. They eventually relented, put it on. And then now we all watch. And how many games you watched on Big Ten Network since where you don't even think about it? You're just like, where are they? Oh, BTN? Okay. And you just flip over. That is where we will be in 10 years with Peacock, Paramount Plus, all this other stuff. Or something else will come to replace those things and we'll get used to that. You're right that I don't think it's going away either because everyone eventually just gets on board. If it's popular enough and you do it enough times, it just becomes second nature.
Each generation gets aged out. You know, when I like we look back on Madden and Summerall, people of our generation, or the NBA on NBC, and say that was that's sports broadcasting right there.
Sure.
But if you're a certain age, that means nothing to you. Like my nephews. My nephews think there's nothing wrong with any of this.
Well, sure.
Right?
Why would they?
17 years old, 15 years old. I got to put it on Peacock? Fine. I'll put it on Peacock. And you know what? That exists for us, too. Bone, do you remember a time where NHL boards in the arenas weren't covered with advertisements?
Right. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Well, I mean, I remember seeing videos of like
you see old videos,
hockey games. You're right. That's fair.
But in our lifetime, that's just normal to us. Right? But when they started doing that,
I'm sure it was a big deal.
Guy and Goo and all the other Canadians up there, they were like, oh, my God, what are they doing?
oh, hey, Guy and Goo here for the no advertising on the billboards thing here.
You know what I mean?
Don't do that.
It was probably the end of the world.
Right.
It was the same thing when they brought in the yellow line in football games.
Sure.
And there was that phase where the puck was glowing, and that went out. That didn't hit. That went out right away. But obviously, having lines superimposed on football fields, that stayed forever. They only started to put more and more on there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame anyone who says that's a bridge too far. I don't want to bother with it. But I think people who get mad about that, I think sometimes you're getting mad at not at yourself, but you're getting mad at the fact that you have to once again prove how big of a fan you are. But because you're basically saying, I now have to pay more money to watch my team play. The reality is at some point, none of these games were on TV, right? 1983 was when they put in the lawsuit that said, hey, the NCAA shouldn't be able to pick 5 games a week to put on cable. All the conferences should be in charge of that. They should have their own TV rights deals. They should be able to be with whoever they want to be, have all those deals on TV. They won that court battle, and that's why you then saw those networks make deals with the conferences. That's how we eventually got to all your Ohio State games were on some variety of channels.
Yeah, but to your point, that's just the last 40 years.
Yeah. And then when that started happening, eventually some of those games were put on cable and not on network television. And then people said, whoa, hang on a second. You're telling me I have to pay money to watch my football team? I got to buy this cable package I don't want to? We don't even bat an eye at that anymore because that is almost viewed as like, well, no, that's free because I'm going to have my cable or my satellite. Well, this is just the next step in that progression. But I totally get it if people say that's not for me. I don't want to bother with that. I will get there at some point. There will be some version of this technology that I'll say, you know what?
Of course.
I don't want to do that.
Even your network TV's not free. You got to purchase your television set, right?
Right.
Even if you have two TVs in your house.
Wow, must be nice, Timmy.
Yeah.
2 TVs.
Nobody has 2 TV sets.
I mean, at the end of the day, we have the games on the radio, so they're always there for you to hear, even if you can't watch it on Peacock.
Got to buy a radio.
Got to buy a radio, or if you're like me and you listen on your app a lot, guess what that's playing on? $1,000 phone sitting in your pocket, right?
Nothing in this life is free, right? You want a Pepsi Pal, you got to pay for it.
I know.
You got to buy it.
For next segment, top of the 5 o'clock hour, do you mind if I yell about something?
Oh, that would be a change.
I know
from
that doesn't happen often, but there's something it's grinding my gears.
Okay.
I will tell you about it next. Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got some slow-moving traffic on eastbound 270 on the North Outer Belt between 315 and 71. And keep an eye out for a disabled vehicle that's on the right shoulder of eastbound 670 at 315. This report is sponsored by Robert Half. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Football fans, are you ready to score big this NFL season? Matty Ice here to tell you that Bud Light and 97.1 The Fan have teamed up for the ultimate football face-off. Join us each week for football face-off events and your chance to win a trip to Vegas where you'll compete for the grand prize, a trip for 2 to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Drink Bud Light, enjoy the games, and take your shot at football glory. This week, join me on Sunday at O'Nelly's, the Dolphins backer bar in Lewis Center. For the Dolphins-Patriots game, I'll be there from 2 to 4 p.m. to give you a shot at going to the Super Bowl.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Colin Common Man here. I've told you about my friends at Sell for 1% Realtors. I am back to remind you that if you're thinking about selling your home, it should not cost you 6% to do it. Their premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your home for 1% commission, not 6. That's it. I had to check it out for myself, see if it was legit. I met with the family-run business here in Central Ohio. They will give you everything you expect from any realtor for a whole lot less. This is full service, not discount. They literally do everything that a realtor who charges you 6% is going to do, and probably more. They can do it because they use today's technology, which has made the realtor's job easier, taking photos, signing documents on your phone. And instead of keeping their prices the same like everybody else does, they pass the savings on to you because they know you're going to be happy with the service. Tell a friend, they get more business. Oh, what a novel concept. If I knew about these guys 10 years ago, I would have saved a boatload of money. On average, customers save about 10 grand in commissions. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. Sellfor1%.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co., located right here in Columbus. Introducing their newest product, 614 Vodka, Ohio's house vodka. Perfect to make a drink at home or try when you're out at your favorite local restaurant. Learn more at 614vodka.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. The fall deals at Germain Honda of Dublin are beautiful. The 24 Civic LX, only $249 a month for 36 months. The 24 Accord LX, only $279 a month for 36 months. With 10,000 miles a year on the lease, $34.99 cash cap reduction, payments plus tax, tag, and document fee, and away you go. How about 0.9% up to 36 months on the 24 Prologue, the first all-electric SUV from Honda? For the best deal in town, Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road.
Get Nature Stone and never replace your flooring again. Nature Stone is a beautiful permanent flooring solution for garages, basements, and indoor spaces. Act now to get pricing as low as 99 cents a square foot plus installation. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Blue Jackets host Washington in a preseason game tonight at Nationwide Arena. 7 o'clock face-off right here on the Fan. Baseball, New York Mets beat the Atlanta Braves 8-7 in Atlanta in the first of a doubleheader today. Francisco Lindor with a 2-run homer in the ninth to put New York ahead for good and put them into the playoffs. If the Braves win the nightcap, they are in, and Arizona is eliminated. If the Mets sweep the Twin Bill, the Braves are out and the Diamondbacks are in. Officially announced today that Ohio State's October 12th game at Oregon will be a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. 2 games in the NFL tonight, Tennessee at Miami, Seattle at Detroit. Basketball Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo passed away at age 58 after battling brain cancer. The 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year ranked second all-time in block shots. This update brought to you by Nature Stone. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best thing about watching football this weekend, talking football on Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Objects in radio may be dumber than they appear. This is Man and Bone.
Happy Monday, Reaction Monday. So glad you've tuned in. 3 hours a day, every single day. We're doing a referral program, too.
Oh, we are?
If you tell a friend about the show and they get hooked on the show, you get $1 million.
Is that right?
Yes.
Who is that coming from?
Fish.
Oh, Fish. I bet he's glad to know that he's not here today to answer for that.
If he were here, he could say, I don't have that.
Well, it's not like he's here. One, if he's taking vacation.
Don't make excuses for Fish.
What?
No.
He's allowed to take vacation.
No.
But he's actually not on vacation. He's working.
No, stop it.
Okay.
Why am I wearing 2 different shoes today?
I wasn't going to bring this up because no one can see this. I was going to let you live.
No, don't let me live. Shame me. I come in here today and Bone says, Are you wearing 2 different shoes on purpose? And I look down and damn it, I am.
See if you can put them up on the screen there. I don't know if anybody can see those.
Well, I got 2 different, and they're not even close. One is like a orange shoe color.
So you have had these white Nikes that you like. Well, you like them except they fall apart, right?
Yeah.
That was the issue with the Nikes. And so you were saying, I'm going to try these other pair, these Asics. And so you were wearing those last week, and they looked good. And then today you came in, and I thought he had 1 shoe on each foot, and I thought, well, maybe Mike is just
being an a-hole.
Well, no, I thought maybe you were trying to see which one felt better for some comparison purpose
I'm just
whatever.
An idiot. I had no idea.
So that's why I asked it that way. I was like, "Are you doing that on purpose?" And you look down and you go, blank, bleep, and bleep, and bleep, and you're just you just showed up with two different shoes.
First time
on.
in my whole life that I left the house with two different pairs of shoes on, but I have them today, and they don't even look similar.
Well, no, it's not like they're two white and black shoes, and one of them just was a different brand. These are a black and white shoe and a yellow and white shoe. I thought it was honestly an homage to maybe the Columbus Crew or something. I didn't know what you were doing there.
Jackets in preseason action with the Caps tonight. Jackets have scored 14 goals in their last 2 preseason games. I'm going to say that's what we're going to see during the regular season.
Let's hope so.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
That pace.
I like it. They're scoring goals. Let's hope that stays true to what's happening in the regular season. You'd love to see that.
Crew tie up. Who were they playing?
DC United.
DC 2-2 on Saturday night. It is the messy week with Miami coming into town.
They really, they could have done something with those extra 2 points they left on the board. I thought Cucho Hernandez had a tremendous goal and then a brilliant assist. Basically, the dude got them not single-handedly, but made the plays to get them 2 goals in 5 minutes. And that was happening right at the same time that Jeremiah Smith was making his one-handed grabs. They're within a few minutes of each other. And I'm watching this because I'm flipping back and forth. I'm watching all these different things, and I'm seeing all this stuff happening. And I'm going, we got one of the greatest receivers possibly in Ohio State history in this city right now. And he's just a freshman. We're still going to have, hopefully, a lot of time to watch him play. And then we got Cucho Hernandez, who may be the greatest player in Crew history. I think he is. I mean, that's just, it was just a stark contrast of 10 minutes worth of sports, and I saw 4 plays that were unbelievably good. But sadly, the Crew gave up a goal to get it tied instead of winning 2-1, which I thought they would do. So dropping 2 points there, if you want to win the Supporters Shield, that would be a big help for you, but they didn't. Now they play Messi and Inter Miami on Wednesday night. Got to have that game if you want to try to catch them.
Should be a beautiful evening. All the tickets, I'm sure, are gone.
Oh, sure.
For that?
Yeah, it's always going to be a question of whether he'll play or not. I mean, his status.
He's supposed to play.
Yeah, he returned a couple weeks ago to playing, so he should be active. This will be his first time playing Columbus since joining the league. He ducked us last year because he was scared.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently this year he's going to try to give it a go. We'll see how it happens.
Baseball season's over for all the crappy teams out there. My crappy baseball team went 40-121. The Chicago White Sox have set the modern-day record for losses in a season. I was hoping they wouldn't get to 40 wins, but those bastards, they did it on the final day of the season.
That's too bad.
They got to 40, but the owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, released a statement yesterday. Again, this guy's 88 years old. By all measures, our on-field performance this season was a failure. As the leader of this organization, that's my ultimate responsibility. There are no excuses. I want to thank you for continuing to support this team throughout what was an embarrassing season. You all deserve better. This season's performance was completely unacceptable, and the varying reactions and emotions from our fan base are completely understandable. Every blown save, every defensive miscue, every shutout, every sweep hurt. It was a long, painful season for us all. We recognize on a daily basis it's our responsibility to earn your trust, attention, time, and support. We vow to take that approach daily as we put the work in this offseason to be better. Let's talk about that, shall we?
Yeah.
Now, maybe you're reading that and you're saying, well, owner took responsibility. That's a positive thing. All right. This is like me coming home, and I actually had a conversation like this once with my parents where I thought I could just fool them with a bunch of gobbledygook. Where I come home and there's an F on my report card. And I said, well, I'll cut them off at the pass. I'm going to tell them about the F, and I'm going to tell them how disappointed I am in myself.
Okay.
Right? So I sat down, Mom, Dad, I'm embarrassed. I'm humiliated. I know you deserve better. I got an F. I'm going to work hard to make sure that I never get an F again. It's unacceptable. I'm ready for whatever punishment you want to give me. And I put this whole thing out there, and I'm staring at blank faces. And then at the end, when I'm finished, my father looks at me and says, what's the plan? That's all good that you're very frustrated and you're embarrassed and you're going to work hard. How are you going to work hard? What are you going to do to make sure this never happens again? Because this is unacceptable. At no point during this statement did the 88-year-old man say, and I have instructed my baseball operations department that there is no salary restrictions on the payroll. I will do anything possible to make this team better before I go off of this plane we call Earth.
Right. I mean,
there was none of that. There was no solution to the problem.
Well, that's the thing, right? In the NFL, if you say, like Jerry Jones has rightfully so taken a lot of crap because the Cowboys haven't gotten the job done when he's made himself basically the GM who has final say over everything. So it does fall to him. But at some point, if Jerry Jones said, I want to go out and spend $400 million on my roster, he just cannot do that. He can do some things to try to, guaranteed money. They can move things around. But ultimately, and I'm not putting him off the hook.
No,
I'm just saying
but there's a salary cap structure in place.
NBA, NHL, same thing. Major League Baseball, Jerry Reinsdorf tomorrow could say, he's not going to do this. He could literally say, I will spend $1 billion on this roster tomorrow. He'll pay a bunch of luxury taxes. I don't know why you would do that. You don't have to spend that much. He hasn't given someone a contract over $100 million in the history of the team since he's owned it. So why would he go that far? But he could at least do $300 million I'll spend on this roster. That would say something. That would show you that.
How embarrassed are you?
Yeah, is that how embarrassed?
How ashamed are you?
You could put that money to good use.
I don't understand it. I really don't. I especially don't understand it when you're 88 years old. And if it doesn't work out, let's say you spend $300 million, you become the Dodgers, all right?
Sure.
Or the Mets, and you go all in, and you spend $300 million on your payroll. Maybe you're alive for the next 2 years. Let's say it fails, and you ultimately didn't win, and the money wasn't a good investment. Well, guess what? You die, your son takes over the team, he then sells the team, and makes billions of dollars.
Right. All the money comes back.
All the money comes back and then some.
Yes. For a guy who bought this team when team values were nowhere near $100 million, let alone $1 billion.
Look, I'm not saying it always works out. But your guy, Mr. Cohen, always here.
Right.
He's the owner of the Mets. What's the first thing he said? My number one goal is to win the World Series. I will do anything I can. I will spend anything I can to win the World Series. And a lot of other owners looked at him and said,
yeah.
Oh, you're making us all look bad. Why? Because you want to win? The ownership of the San Diego Padres in that small market, an afterthought in Southern California, they drew more fans than ever this year. You can say they've even underachieved because they've been trying to win the World Series and throwing everything at it for 3 years, and they haven't gotten there. But that hasn't stopped them. They continue to go all in, trying to win the World Series.
Yeah, it is a joke when anybody who has that type of power says something like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. I mean, I'm as confused as you are. And it's like, no one that you're saying that to has the control of the purse strings to be able to fix the problem. I get frustrated the same way when politicians look at a problem in society and go, well, we don't know what we could do about that. And it's like, I know I don't know what to do about it necessarily, but I'm not an elected official in Congress. Congress, president, people in that power position should have something they could do more than just say, well, it's too bad this stuff keeps happening, whatever the issue is. That's what I feel like sometimes when you hear these owners in baseball say that, like, wish I knew what to do. No, you know what to do. You can spend money, and even if you don't win the World Series, you're in control of actually trying to take the steps to make your team better. Imagine if the Sox were not a World Series team, but they made it to the ALCS. That'd be a positive step, wouldn't it? And then from there, you can build a little bit further. Try to make it a little bit better the next year.
So, hey, 88-year-old man, I'm glad that you're frustrated. I'm glad that you're upset. And I'm glad that you're validating my feelings of frustration, okay? That's wonderful. But I didn't hear any plan. All right, a CEO gets on an earnings call. If they miss, if they have the worst quarter in the world, you don't just come on and say, well, next time, you got to give a plan. We're going to open up more factories in China. We're going to go after this market. Here's our plan. We may not succeed, but we know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
My team doesn't know what the hell they're doing. There is no plan put forward.
Oh, no.
It's just we're embarrassed.
The plan is let Jerry Reinsdorf do whatever he wants to do, and don't make him feel bad. And, if you lose a bunch of games, that's not going to change anything that he's going to do. So you basically have to wait it out until he decides to let someone else run the team, or sadly, until he is no longer able to run the team. Like, that's where this is now, and that's an awful place to be.
Fat Boy Food Tap. Coming up next, Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got a 5-minute delay due to an accident that's blocking the 2 right lanes. If you're on eastbound 670 at 33, it will be stop and go from Grandview Avenue. And things are slow on westbound 70 on the west side between West Broad Street and Fisher Road. This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
It's Customer Appreciation Week with special deals like select Kroger brand pasta sauce or pasta for only 99 cents each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Columbus, the wait is over. Blue Jackets hockey is back. Come feel the boom all season long. Be here Tuesday, October 15th for the home opener, presented by Nationwide. Get your tickets today at BlueJackets.com.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Hello, I am a serious announcer hired to deliver a serious announcement. Get an Apex Pros winter tune-up for your furnace right now for only $29. Notice we are simply giving you the facts. Just $29 to make sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming Ohio winter. We know how you enjoy our usual fun and funny commercials. Hello? Beg pardon? Well, I see no reason to bring my mother into this. Good day to you, sir. Where was I? Oh, yes. A $29 tune-up will make sure your furnace runs safely and warmly all winter. That's serious. I'm serious. That's why we're not doing the usual that you've come to expect from Apex Pros. None of this or this nonsense. $29 for a furnace tune-up from Apex Pros. The pros who knows? Knows? Is that really how you say it? The pros who...
Apex Pros, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the dopes at The Fan.
At Baths R Us, we're terrible roofers. We stink at installing siding. And don't ever call us for your kitchen remodel. But if you want a stunning, beautiful bathroom makeover in just 2 or 3 days, now that's when you want to call us. See, unlike most contractors these days, we offer only one service, bathroom remodeling. We don't spread ourselves thin by doing roofing or siding and a bunch of other stuff. Nope. At Baths R Us, we dedicate every company resource into mastering the craft of bath transformations. It's why we're the Midwest's biggest 5-star family-owned bathroom company. And it's why we have the happiest customers. Just check out our Google reviews. Baths R Us. We're terrible roofers, but we're awesome bathroom remodelers. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Scott from the Cleveland area has coached girls basketball and supported his granddaughter's athletic pursuits.
My granddaughters have worked hard to excel in sports. It's tough enough. So the idea that Sherrod Brown voted to allow transgender biological men to compete in girls' sports, it's unfair and dangerous. And introducing a bill to allow biological men in girls' locker rooms? Biological men to shower in my granddaughter's locker room? No way. I worry about the safety of my family constantly. Now I have to worry about Sherrod Brown's crazy liberal ideas. I thought Sherrod Brown was on my side, but he's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown has let Ohio down. Now he's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of clouds around, some scattered showers and light winds. Temperatures only around 70 degrees on this Monday. Overnight will fall down to the low 60s. Showers out, patchy dense fog in. During the day on Tuesday, we'll see a little bit of sunshine. Otherwise, a late day shower or thunderstorm possible into Tuesday evening. Highs around 80 degrees. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Highly medicated, barely educated. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Happy Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Our guy Jayson Stark will join us coming up at 5:34. Lots of happenings around Major League Baseball today, including the doubleheader that's going on between the Mets and the Braves, where the Mets won the first game, so they're in the playoffs. The Braves have to win game 2 to get in the playoffs. If the Mets sweep this double dip, then the Diamondbacks are in.
Mm-hmm. Well, as it stands right now, the Braves are up 1-0. So looking good for them. The Mets don't look like they're sweating a thing because they're already in. So
that's great. I don't care. Let's talk about food. Fat Boy Food, yeah!
Common Man and T-Bone have very little value unless they're telling you about all the crap they can shove in your mouth so you can die quicker. It's time for Fat Boy Food Tip. Wait, how do you want me to say it? Tip? This is dumb. I quit.
All right, it's my favorite kind of Fat Boy Food Tip. It is the taste test Fat Boy Food Tip. Bone, what are we eating today?
Today we are eating, these are from Aldi, and I have been told Aldi have some superior cookies. So this is a apple pie sandwich cream is what this is called. It is a maroon package if you're listening on the radio. You can find this at your local Aldi, I guess. I think I got it for like $2 or $3. Not bad. Now, I have already tried these. I'm not going to influence the decision making.
It's like an Oreo, except with apple pie stuff.
Yeah, and it's like a vanilla wafer, a vanilla cookie. It's not like a chocolate cookie, but the cream filling is apple pie spices. So Timmy's here, Teddy's here. Feel free to take a bite. Let me know what you guys think.
No, I took 2 cookies. I'm trying them both separately.
Okay.
Or a different. I'm taking one apart.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to eat one together.
All right. What do you think of the filling so far? Is that how you're doing that one?
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
I like how Timmy's just staring at you.
Were you just licking the cream off of one?
No, I shoved the whole thing in my mouth.
Oh, okay. You're going to do the cream on the second one?
No, I did them both already.
Oh, you already ate them?
Yeah, I already ate them.
Well, what's the verdict?
I enjoy them very much.
Yeah. I think these have a great, I don't know if I would say it's apple pie. It's definitely cinnamon. It's definitely fall.
It's fall-y.
Yeah, if you had a cup of apple cider to eat with these, I feel like that would be the perfect companion to this. But they have these in the little seasonal section when you go to Aldi, at least the one I go to. They have like a little area where they have some Halloween stuff, some fall stuff, and that's where these cookies reside.
I thought there was going to be more cinnamon in the actual cookie. It's not.
I think it's fine.
It's like a golden Oreo, the cookie part. And it doesn't taste like an imitation product either. It's a good cookie.
You were saying it, Bone. It's not so much apple pie. It's the apple cider. Mm-hmm. It's the hint of it's the flavor. It's that smell of a nice hot apple cider when you go to one of those places with all the fall crap.
It's got a lot of smell to it. When you open up the bag, you get a very good whiff of it. And I think that stays there.
Aldi's cookies.
Teddy, what'd you think?
I thought it's delicious. I mean, yeah, the apple, and it's just delicious. Cinnamon. Wonderful.
Yeah, I found these the other day, and I said, I'm going to bring these in for the boys, see what they think of it. Because I love
that's what we do now.
Yeah, that's
bring it in for the boys.
Well, we got to try it. We got to try it on the air. $2
Timmy's
for
been
a segment?
Looking forward to it every single 5 seconds. Like, it's cookie time? When's cookies?
I could have just let you eat them out there. I just figured it's more fun to eat them on the air.
What other flavors do they have? I've tried that Clover Valley now when I was in the Dollar General last week and I saw the cookies you brought in once. Those are solid for a cheap cookie. Yeah. They got any others outside of the standard Oreo?
I was wondering if they had like a pumpkin pie version of this. They might have. I didn't see it. All I saw was this apple pie variant. Now, their regular cookie selection, Aldi's also has those Girl Scout cookie duplicates. They have at least a tag-along version that's similar to the one that Dollar General sells. A lot of people say that one's as good or better, but I've not had that one yet. So that one's out there.
We've had the Dollar General one.
Yeah, and that was really good.
That was delicious.
Yeah. It just has a chocolate cookie wafer in it instead of a vanilla one.
Is there a flavor that we're missing? Because I know they've done a lot. Obviously, Oreo has come out with a ton of variants. I don't know if you tried the Sour Patch Kids one. They kind of had the flavoring in the cream. I actually thought it was okay.
I did not like the Coke ones.
I liked the Coke
You
ones.
guys liked it more than me. I did not like it. To me, it left an aftertaste.
What about a Dr. Pepper cookie? I like Dr. Pepper flavoring and everything.
Let me tell you, if that Oreo Coke thing goes well, they're going to be more companies are going to be doing stuff like that.
Soda flavored stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I did find the Coke Oreos finally in the store and bought a couple packs, had them home last night. I give one to Melissa. My wife is not the most adventurous eater in the world. So when I hand it to her, her initial reaction is skepticism. She looks at me like, what is this? Like I've handed her cyanide or something. And so then she takes a bite of it, bites half of it, and then gives it to me before she's even finished chewing. Is like, here you go.
It's a cookie.
And I said, you didn't like this? And she goes, nah, it's not an Oreo. And I'm like, I know it's not an Oreo.
Tastes like Coke.
Yeah, I thought it did.
Look, I didn't care for it, but it's
you put
still
the whole
a
thing in your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Tastes good. Hurts no one.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Probably
By the
hurt some
way,
of us. We all just dropped dead.
Well, that
helps the economy.
This is a slow drip of getting to us, right? This is not the nuclear bomb. It's like you eat one of these and you just drop dead. But over like 50 years, if you just keep eating cookies, yeah, eventually it's going to catch up with us. I know that.
Thank you for the treats, Boner.
Yeah, by the way, tomorrow, just a reminder, tomorrow is the new National Taco Day. There are deals. I won't bug you with all those, but Taco Bell has them. Other places. Long John Silver's is doing a 2-for-5 fish taco if you want to go check that out. This all got moved because Taco Bell moved the National Taco Day from Friday, the actual National Taco Day.
What's next?
To Taco Tuesday.
Moving Christmas?
Yeah, that's right.
Moving Easter?
It was October 4th. Now it's October 1st. What a joke. Anyway, tomorrow, just be aware. If you're a taco fan and you want to go get tacos, tomorrow is National Taco Day.
Would you guys eat a bunch of Long John Silver fish tacos with me?
Why not?
I would. I love a fish taco.
Sounds tremendous, right?
I don't know where there is a Long John Silver's we can go to.
Gotta find one.
Oh, I know where one is.
Where?
Up in Marysville. I mean, that's not somewhere you guys are going to be able to get up to before the show.
What would those taste like after the Bone drive-in?
Oh, no. You got to eat those fresh.
Those have got to be. No, we're not bringing those all. My car is not going to smell like. I'm not going to let that smell like Long John Silver's for a week afterwards.
Smells like a fish taco in here.
I like a good fish taco.
I do too. I like their fish over there at Long John Silver's. It's good for what it is. It's fried fish.
No Captain D's.
All right.
Rich Man's.
What is Rich Man's?
A rich man's Long Johns.
Oh, that's
Captain D's.
I gotcha.
You got to have some of these.
Don't worry. I've already been planning out my travels this weekend where we're going down south. I've already got the restaurants I'm looking at.
Oh, I forgot. Is it Furnace Fest time?
Mm-hmm. This week. Yeah.
What's the river town down there, Bone, on the border? Is it Gallipolis? How do you say that one?
That
got a lot of weird pronunciations.
Gallipolis.
Yeah. So they've got a Tudor's Biscuit World. We hit that on the way down to the beach. On the way back, we did Captain D's.
Oh, beautiful.
And you wouldn't believe this meal we had at Captain D's. My God. It was like we were at the ocean. It was just,
I mean, it wasn't.
Don't mock the D's.
You were at Captain D's.
You're mocking now, Timmy.
Don't con me.
Don't knock the D's.
I loved it. Honest to God. It's great. The hush puppies, everything, the
delicious.
Fries, crispy, just those little crispies.
Oh,
right?
the Crispies are
Find
good.
their way into that box.
Yeah,
what is this? It's nothing.
All those places do that. It's like they know. They're just like, you know what? And just give them a whole bunch of the deep fried batter that just.
I'm just going to throw it out anyway.
Just put it in there.
Serve it to us.
Put it
Had
in there.
a huge 6-pack of giant prawns for maybe $4.99, $5.99.
Giant prawns? What are you, British?
Yeah, like the big.
Give me the prawns.
That's what they're called there. I want to
those
say
shrimp?
The jumbo shrimp.
Right. Okay.
Prawns.
That sounds. Yeah, I didn't.
Keep the heads on so I can suck them. I want to suck the juices out.
Disgusting.
Jason's Beef with our guy Jason Stark coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to run into a 10-minute delay due to a disabled vehicle. That's on eastbound 70 on the west side at 71. It's causing stop-and-go traffic from Central Avenue. And there's a 5-minute delay on westbound 670 from Grandview Avenue to I-70. This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay, with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roof Revivers. Whether you need a quick repair or a full replacement, Roof Revivers has you covered. Visit roofrevivers.com today. Roof Revivers. We fix leaky roofs.
Use your own body's healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get you real lasting pain relief? That sounds amazing. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine. And if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, I've had it before. I've had it in my knee. I went and saw the professionals, the experts at QC Kinetics. They're the leaders in regenerative medicine. Guess what? There's no surgery, there's no drugs, there's no downtime. And my dad did it as well. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands satisfied patients just like me. So I'm back to running again. My dad is back to walking again. They've got locations conveniently located in Dublin and Gahanna. So go check them out by going to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Fall is here. It's still warm and dry and everything's brown. But yay, fall. Maybe after your summer road trips, you've realized your vehicle sucks. My friends at Jermaine Lexus want to help. Right now, they have special APRs as low as 2.99% on their most popular models like the ES and RX, or lease payments starting as low as $4.99 a month. My friends at Jermaine are the best in the business. If you're in the market, please stop in. 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with the sound of freshness, the sound of sizzle, the sound of savings. With new low prices on hundreds of your favorite produce items, deals for days on over 1,000 items throughout the store, plus weekly sales and My Perks for even more savings at the pump. Surround yourself with savings every time you shop. At your neighborhood Giant Eagle. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 Roof.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sports book is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
He likes baseball. He likes solar eclipses. He likes Shohei Ohtani. But he loves roast beef sandwiches. It's time for Jason's Beef with everyone's favorite baseball writer, podcaster, author, and former mustache owner, Jayson Stark.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on Train air conditioners.
He is the founding member of the Arby's Hall of Fame. Jayson Stark joins us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Hello, my friend.
What's happening, Mike?
Well, we had some dramatic baseball today. It's not over yet, but the Mets and Braves played a hell of a game. Mets won. They clinched their spot in the playoffs. Braves are trying to do that. So do you like the doubleheader today, or should they have tried any other way to do this, but not on Monday?
Okay, so we're fans of chaos. It's fun for us. It's tremendous fun for us. But is it a good look? You've got essentially a playoff game going on right now, correct? Game 2 of this doubleheader is going on right now. And you have one team that doesn't really care what happens. I don't remember another playoff game, quote unquote, where that was true. I don't see Lindor in the lineup. I don't see Pete Alonso in the lineup. I don't see a guy starting who was on their 40-man roster an hour ago. So they're telling you they don't care. And so that's a bad look. I thought yesterday was a bad look. You had two teams in the Padres and Mets that knew they were playing playoff games in 2 days, and they could greatly inconvenience the two teams that they could potentially play by not winning yesterday. So I'm not saying that they intentionally lost, but what were they more motivated to do, win or not win? So all of that, to me, I just have a problem with it. And then the question is, should Major League Baseball have stepped in a week ago as the hurricane was barreling toward Georgia and said, no, we're not going to just gamble with the weather and see what happens? What they should have done was play Monday, doubleheader Tuesday, and tell those teams this is how we're going to do it, because the alternative was this. That's what I see. Do you guys disagree?
No, I think that it's something that Major League Baseball could have been a little bit more proactive on, Jayson. And I feel like I don't blame the teams in the system for participating in the system that exists, right? Like sometimes that's a thing we look at in society and say, oh, well, this person says they're for this, and then they go do this other thing, or they're against this, and they do this other thing. It's like they're participating in the system that exists. The Mets, I'm sure there's plenty of players who would rather take every game as if it's the last game they're ever going to play in. they know the stakes now. They've already clinched this. And it would have been the same way if the Braves had won game one, and what a game that was. But either way, whatever team won, you pretty much knew the incentives are there for that team that won game one to basically lay down in game two. And for Diamondbacks fans, that sucks because now they're sitting here just helplessly watching as probably their playoff hopes go up in smoke.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just a bad look. And am I allowed to compare it to the NFL? Because the NFL doesn't let stuff like this happen. 2 years ago, they stepped in Buffalo 3 days before a game and moved it to Detroit. And that was about weather. They don't ask the teams, hey, what do you guys want to do? They confer with the teams, and they keep them in the loop. It doesn't feel like the teams have the power to say no. But the Mets didn't want to play Monday because they played on Sunday Night Baseball, so they voted nah. And the Braves had 3 sellouts Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They didn't want to give them up, so they said, no, let's just see what happens. I recognize the NFL is a little different. They can't just drop in a makeup game the day after the season if it snows. I'm just saying the league is in charge. The league makes the calls in their sport. I would hope that in the future, baseball would do that.
Jason's beef with our guy Jason Stark here on The Fan. So the Guardians now, they hang out until Saturday. They face the winner of the Tigers and the Astros. Is that an advantage to hang? I mean, I guess you can look at it both ways, right? You can rest, you can set your starting pitching rotation, all of that. But you've got all these other teams now playing do-or-die baseball. They've got momentum on their side. The Guardians are sitting back and waiting until Saturday. Do you like this system?
Everybody wants the bye, but how's the bye worked out? These are the facts. So last year, 4 teams had a bye. One of them won, the Astros. The other 3 won a combined 1 game. 2022, both NL teams that had the bye, the Braves and Dodgers, both lost their series in 4. The Astros won in 2022. The Yankees also won. So whatever it is, I don't have a great way to very easily sum up what's wrong with the bye, why this is happening, other than baseball is an everyday sport and a rhythm sport, and the bye messes with both. But it just feels like nobody except the Astros seems to have figured out how to handle it. Okay, so do you think that there's some overarching reason that teams shouldn't take the bye, shouldn't rest? Well, they all want to.
Yeah, I guess what I would wonder, Jason, is would it make more sense, in a way, Major League Baseball, I know there's been backlash to, don't have your whole season come down to a single game, wild card, play-in type of situation. So now we have the 3-game series, but that 3-game series probably ends up statistically, like you just said, punishing the higher seeds who don't have to play in it. So with the, you know what I mean? Like, in a way, we're almost trying to serve those teams that don't have the better record to give them a chance to actually have a little bit of a meaningful series there, but at the expense of the teams that earned a right to kind of move forward and be in the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's how it's worked out. We have theories. The theories make sense on why it's worked out that way. MLB would say, how come none of the theories ever affect the Astros? they take their bye, they play their simulated games, and then they win.
I mean, we can make jokes about why they don't affect the Astros.
At least one of those years we have some theories on that. Well, give me Rob Manfred's number, Jason. I'll call him personally, and we'll talk about it. We'll sort all this out.
I'm just happy today because they came to their senses. They're going to wear their regular uniforms during the All-Star game next year.
Oh, God. Yeah, how about that? Is this the first instance ever of MLB listening to what fans want and what players want?
Well, you know what the sad part is that if you believe all the reports, the players are the ones that approved all these uniform changes. Please tell me that it's not.
They had a small sample of players who they asked about the new Nike uniforms, and they said, sure, but they never actually played in them. Okay, they wound up hating them, in large part because they didn't fit. But also, the sweat just bleeds right through the road uniforms. Every road team, every road gray is drenched in sweat. It's such a bad look. So as soon as they actually got to spring training and they were told you will wear these uniforms, they realized everything that was wrong with them. And baseball, whether they didn't act or just couldn't act, they didn't act. Then there was the whole All-Star game part of it. I think that's probably because they listened to our show right after the All-Star game, right?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's listening to our show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we understand why the All-Star uniforms changed. I don't know about the other stuff.
Jason, enjoy the baseball this week. We'll talk next week.
I look forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Jason's beef. Oh, well, that's me.
Way to go.
Sorry.
Just hung up on Jayson Stark.
Sorry, I thought he was
a Hall of Famer, and you just click on that trigger, huh?
Jason's beef with our guy Jayson Stark on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Back page coming up. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're looking at a 15-minute slowdown due to an accident that's blocking 3 lanes on northbound 270 on the East Outer Belt from Hamilton Road to 670. And we've got a 5-minute slowdown on southbound 315 from Kinnear Road to Town Street. This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip to a postseason game, and more. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
Hey guys, it's Anthony Rothman. If you're feeling at a loss for energy or just not upbeat like you used to be, it could be low testosterone. That's right, it affects our moods. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But guys have different T levels, so don't go for a standard dosage plan. Look for TRT with an optimized personal treatment plan like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Do it now. Go to lowtcenter.com and book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Trust & Will knows that you're likely celebrating a loved one's birthday this month because fall is the most popular birthday season in America. And Trust & Will celebrates by protecting what matters most. Trust & Will makes estate planning easy and affordable, designed by attorneys but customized by you. Visit trustandwill.com with offer code Columbus for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust & Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
The higher your credit card rate, the longer it will take you to pay off your balances. Plus, you're paying a lot more interest than you need to. Switch to a Platinum Rewards Visa from Kemba Financial Credit Union with super low everyday rates on purchases, a full-year interest-free and balance transfers, and unlock unlimited 2% cash back for a limited time. You'll also get exclusive perks like 24/7 support, ID theft protection, and roadside assistance. Apply at Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Offer ends October 31st, 2024.
With so much in one place, Meijer is the only stop you'll need to make. Save big with weekly deals going on now. Like California red or black seedless grapes, only $1.49 per pound. Fresh from Meijer 80% lean ground beef, just $4.99 a pound. And Meijer shredded, sliced, or chunk cheese, 3 for $6. You can always count on low prices and great quality at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See these deals and more in-store or in the Meijer app.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Fox tonight.
911, what's your emergency? 911, what's your emergency? A train just derailed.
The 911 Lone Star season premiere event continues.
All companies pull back.
Then,
this is the most dangerous stretch of beach in the world.
Rescue High Surf is TV's hottest new drama.
2 fishermen on kayaks.
What's unconscious? Getting dangerous.
I'm going in.
911 Lone Star and Rescue High Surf, all new.
Tonight starting at 8 on Fox 28.
With so much happening every day,
ABC6 News is on your side, helping you understand the events that impact your community.
Do you believe Columbus City Schools is in a PR crisis?
Central Ohio's most experienced team of reporters, persistent in getting answers to the questions you're asking.
Are you worried about how people are going to react?
And when you need us, ABC6 News is on your side, finding solutions.
6 on your side, they're the ones willing to answer the phone.
You can count on ABC6 News to be on your side.
Inflation hurts all Ohioans, especially the working class. Just yesterday, it cost almost $500 to fill up my truck. And it's tougher to provide for my family. And Sherrod Brown's making it worse. Brown supported a corporate merger that would lay off union workers and drive up costs. And Brown backed Biden and Kamala's radical inflation act that cost Americans $2 trillion and stuck us with the highest inflation in 40 years. Working class Ohioans can't afford any more of Sherrod Brown. Bernie Moreno and President Trump are standing up for the working class. Together, they will fight to lower inflation, cut prices on gas and groceries, create high-paying jobs, and unleash America's economy. Together, I trust them to fix Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Sherrod Brown's mess. And I trust Bernie Moreno and President Trump to always put America's working class first.
I'm Bernie Moreno, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Bernie Moreno for Senate and NRSC. Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Ford.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
All right, let me tell you what's coming up after us because it's slightly complicated. So 6 o'clock, top of the hour, Buckeye Roundtable. Skip Mossick, Paul Keels, Jim Lachey, a cast of thousands. On the FM, if you're listening on 97.1, that's going to go until 6:45. And then we have Blue Jackets preseason hockey picking up from there. The entire Buckeye Roundtable experience, all 2 hours, will be on the AM dial, 1460, and the Fans HD2 and the app. So if you're listening to the first 45 minutes, hey, what the hell? I want more football. It's still there. Just have to change the channel and find it.
That's right.
Thank you.
Pretty easy solution. I think you'll be fine getting to that. But, yeah, I'm excited to hear from the guys today. Big win for the Buckeyes.
It's a conflicting week for our buddy Jim Lachey.
I know.
Because Jimmy's son plays on Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, who are the Buckeyes playing on Saturday?
They're playing Iowa.
Good old Iowa.
Yeah. What's the time on that one again? Is that a night game we're doing here?
It's 3:30, isn't it?
3:30. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm confusing my weeks.
Yeah, 3:30. The next week's the Oregon game.
This week is 3:30 on CBS. Of course, all the action right here on the Fan.
I know it's not possible, but I hope Colt McCoy is calling this game, too, on CBS.
I don't.
The voice of the Buckeyes.
I don't want to hear that,
Colt
actually.
McCoy. What did I want to say to you? I had something to say to you.
I don't know.
I got nothing.
All right. You want to just hit the
you know
back
what
page?
I will say?
I have plenty of stuff.
No, I want to say this.
Okay.
Because I saw Jimmy. It reminded me of the Washington Commanders.
Yes.
He, of course, played for the Redskins, but this is the Commanders.
Sure.
I don't know if they're for real or not. I don't know what Jayden Daniels ultimately ends up becoming. And I say this because, you know, it's a 3-game stretch here, really 2-game stretch, where the offense just looked unstoppable. They had a road win in Arizona yesterday. Jayden Daniels looks like the real deal. I will just caution this aspect of it. Who was the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders?
I don't
know
remember
the answer?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Cliff Kingsbury's the answer.
Oh, that's right.
And what do Cliff Kingsbury's teams always do? They start red hot.
They do this.
Red hot, and then they crap their pants. Whether he's a coordinator, whether he's a head coach, all of his teams start the same way. And so far be it from me to say to Commanders fans who are just looking for something, to say pump the brakes a little bit, because you should be excited. This is exciting. But it should also make you just a touch nervous that Cliff Kingsbury is at the helm of this.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
All right, back page.
The back page. The back page with Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Bone. Well, man, a professor, Dr. Penelope Horlick, who teaches at Oxford in Great Britain. She had a 1997 Porsche 911 Triptronic worth $80,000.
Let her live.
Was trying to avoid a pothole, ended up off the road, had some damage to it. This is in August of 2010. Okay, 14 years ago. She then took it to a repair shop there owned by a Mr. Jagawan Jolly. Took the car into his workshop and then promptly claimed it's got so many repairs, needs $9,000 of repairs. She says, well, I don't want to do that. Give me the car back. I'll take it somewhere else. He said, nope, it's my property now. It's legally in my possession. You have to pay me or that's it.
That doesn't sound legal.
It doesn't. But after a long legal battle where eventually in March of 2022, after a long legal battle, he returned the car to her minus the engine, transmission, and all the vital parts, just the hollow shell of this car. She finally won in court and got a settlement of $115,000 against this guy. So she doesn't have her car anymore, but she did get enough money to get a new one, I guess. But
assuming this guy
if you can get it. But how in the world? Can you imagine you take your car to the shop, you try to get updates, and like a month goes by, 2 months by, 10 years plus go by before you finally get this settled?
Sounds about right.
In and out of court. Just awful situation. I can't imagine that. But at least she got paid out in the end. So congrats, Professor Horlick. I hope your new car is great.
Professor Horlick.
That's her name. Let her live.
Professor Horlick.
Horlik.
Right.
Let her live.
Buckeye Roundtable is next. Jackets time at 6:45. We are back tomorrow for a big Tuesday show. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to run into some slow traffic on southbound 270 on the East Outer Belt between 670 and Hamilton Road. And there's a couple minutes slowdown due to a disabled vehicle that's on eastbound 70 on the west side at 71. It is moving slowly from Mount Street. This report is sponsored by Ohio Laborers and Ohio Lesset. Ohio Laborers would like to congratulate Member of the Week Stanley Sarine. Laborers Local 245 Ashtabula. Stanley is a proud journeyman. Build Ohio right, build it Union. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI FCU. BMIFCU.org/Visa.